Hello and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. It's Dan Who, and hello, happy Thursday. We are back here to talk about toys and all the things in the Marvel Legend world. And to stop me and Rich from talking about like utter nonsense, like we sort of went off on crazy tangents this last week, we've decided to pick a theme like we used to and go back to what we're good at, and that's exactly what we're doing today. As today's topic's a good one as well, as we are picking Marvel Legend or Marvel teams in general that need just one more figure or character in a particular look or design to complete a team, okay? So we've broke it down into 10. So if you're here watching the replay or you've just clicked this video because of the clickbait title, it's not clickbait. We are actually breaking down the top 10, but not in any particular order, all right? The order's for you to decide. But we are going to be doing 10 Marvel Legend figures that Hasbro need to give us to complete teams on our shelves in our collection. So as always, we like to start off with a bit of a ramble to warm up. So I'll make sure that after this video, I put in the timestamp in the description, or I'll pin it to the top of the comments. So if you want to just get straight into the list, straight into the nitty gritty, then you can do that for the replay crew. But if you are here on a Thursday just to join us for our regular nonsense, hello, welcome. As always, I'm not on my own. Here he is, the man himself, displayed once, Rich M. Rich M. Whoa, don't want to get demonetized so soon. How you doing?
I'm good, you alright?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. We were just talking off screen about my stressful weekend. I'm coming to London, people, but it's not for Comic-Con. It's not for Comic-Con. I'm going to visit Mark Tatak. That's what I'm doing. So shout out Mark. But I'll be in Wembley on Saturday. It's starting to stress me out already. So I doubt anyone else going Wembley, right? Anyone? No, I didn't think so. But that's where I'll be. I think Brandon's going Comic-Con. He may not have wanted me to tell you that, but try and find him. But today we are talking about. I reckon this is a pretty good topic because there's more characters, there's more teams that just need just one figure than you think, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that are nearly done, but for this one, we like focus on the ones that is just one team member is needed, and then it's done and dusted. You can put in your debt off, never have to do anything with it again.
Yeah, we could have picked the Serpent Society, but we'd just be running down 10 characters from the Serpent Society we still need. So we've decided to narrow it down into characters that literally would complete a team. And we've picked 10, and again, you guys can play along with us. But like always, we like to start off with a little bit of a ramble, say hello to the chat, show appreciation to the people that are here watching us live. So let me do the housekeeping, and then we'll jump straight into that. So first things first. Go and check out all the other long-form content on the channel, all the live streams, which are just virtual hangouts, talking toys in our fandoms. Legends and Liquor was last week. Go and check out the replay. Me and Tanner did a Turtles and Tea this Tuesday, which worked out perfectly. It was like we planned it, because it was World Turtle Day, and NECA decided to drop what the actual San Diego Comic-Con exclusives are going to be for the movie Turtles. So we had loads of relevant Turtle news to talk about, rather than being a month late like we usually are. So honestly, it's a great episode. We had a special guest with Jonathan from Nostalgia Unboxed, who has a great channel. So go and check out the last episode of Turtles and Tea on my channel right now. And of course, G.I. Joe, Yo Joe June is on its way. So me, Mark, and Tom will be back in June. Maybe to talk about a new HasLab for in the Joe round. The Joes need something to fight back their Hiss tank, so we shall see. If you want to contribute to all of that nonsense, then you can do so. Anything over £4 or $4, our Talking Assistant Friday will read it out on a Thursday. And again, it helps contribute to the nonsense here on the channel. Much appreciated. But be a part of the show as well. Again, she'll read it out loud, she'll interrupt me, I'll interrupt Rich. It's a great time. It's a fun time. Hit that join button and you can be on the channel. It's simple as that. Legends and Liquor every other Sunday. If you join at the Members Club tier, then you can literally, that's your entry in. And again, we're adding new members every week now, or every other week. And yeah, it's been a good time getting to know all the people that pop up in the chat each week showing support. So you know it's appreciated. And now we're going to
Unless you're George. Justice for George!
Justice for George. Poor George. I don't even know if George watched the show. Like I didn't see
he's unsubscribed now. He's not here anymore.
I didn't even see him in the chat once, and he was meant to be a guest. So I think after I again awkwardly miscounted, he was like, "Oh, fuck you, Dan," and he didn't even bother watching. So yeah, justice for George. I blame Frank now. It's not Frank's fault. It's my fault. So Yeah, it's my bad. Let me bring up the chat and we can say hello to the people that are here now. I've got my chat box. It works, I think, somewhere. One of these buttons. There it is. There is a poll up in the chat right now because, of course, we're going to recap the Marvel Legends news. That's why I said at the start of the video I'll put a timestamp in for the list because there is some Marvel Legend news to talk about that sort of spurred on the idea of our list for today, and we'll explain all. But right now, if you want to get involved with the poll, it is favourite Marvel Legend reveal of the week. It was either the Squadron Supreme 2-pack with Nighthawk and Blur and the West Coast Avengers 5-pack, which went up for Amazon on pre-order today. The Nighthawk and Blur hasn't went up for pre-order yet, but you can, if you're in the US at least, you can pre-order the West Coast Avengers on Amazon right now. UK, it's not went up in the UK yet, but I will be looking out and looking for that one, but it's not up just yet. So get involved with the poll. So far, 70% say they are more excited about the West Coast Avengers 5-pack. So let's say hello to the chat. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. And so start up top. I think that was Damien in nice and early. Shout out Damien. Jelly Figs, Big Will, Gary A, The Fossil, Justin Collects. He says, I've got no connection to the Squadron Supreme at all, but I love the knock-off Justice League aesthetic, and that alone makes me want them. Clearance pickup, question mark? Yeah, that's exactly what the Squadron Supreme are. They're sort of a Marvel tribute, or maybe knockoff is a better word, to certain members of the Justice League, and it's quite easy to guess who's who. Rob Pollock's in the building as well. How you doing, Rob? He says, this will be a great show. I can't wait to see Mercury, Rock Slide. Hang on, I'm going to stop you there.
What? They've only got one member, Rob.
That's what I'm saying.
It's one member needed, not only one member made.
There you go. Yes, I like the reverse concept. Maybe we will do the reverse concept where we need to maybe kickstart teams, but we appreciate you, Rob. As I said, Gary A, The Fossil, Justin Collects, Jay's Collection UK. I've heard. Why can't I say Jay's name? I speak to Jay every bloody day. Jay's Toy Collection UK. Woo, there you go. How you doing? Cloud, Mark, Hobby. There's Tac Tac. I'm gonna see Tac Tac, the physical presence on Saturday. Can't wait. I'm more excited to see Mark Tac Tac than I am to watch the bloody football. I genuinely am. Striding, Paul, Cute Cult, LEGENNDS, that's Rick, Curtis, Home Dude, Jason Lopez, the retweeting king. That's where you see the crown. Eric Alfred Abel using his favourite emoji with the bum pirate emoji. Come on, it's a good self-aware emoji. Come on now. He knows it. Marvelous Nick. He says, great idea to chat about. It absolutely is. We will get into it. Dom's in the building as well. He says, break it down, DX theme. Absolutely. 16 Shooter says, hit that thumbs up. Please do. Apparently, it helps an algorithm, whatever the algorithm is. So hit it. Don't be shy. Travis, as I said. Sean. Bon Williams. There's Cheeky Monkey Kiara. She says, sorry I'm late. It's okay. No need to apologise. You're here. That's the main thing. So's Mr. Cheeseburger. So's Tech Hex. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, we've got a super chat from Chris. I got money in the bank. Perfect timing. I'll let Friday read that out.
Chris donated $5. Kraven the Hunter in the new Spider-Man 2 game trailer and retro card Kraven releasing soon. Let's go Kraven.
Absolutely, let's go Kraven. Thank you very much, Chris, for the super chat. And yes, you're absolutely right. The new Spider-Man trailer went up yesterday. It's over 12 minutes, so I didn't watch the whole thing, but I do plan to. I did see the Kraven bit at the beginning. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah, and then it's like it goes into like the gameplay, like a section of the game showing you like Miles and like the new Venom? Spider-Man with like symbiote powers.
Looking good.
Yeah, it looks really good, and I like the beginning bit where it's like classic Kraven comes back and like gets rid of the Kraven who was like in the last game, and it's like it's full on like with a lion, like vest and everything.
Yeah, nice.
He's back, so that's quite good. Yeah, and that figure is coming out soon. It is, if you're in the UK, Kapow Toys have got it in today. I think Star Action in Demand will have it in tomorrow as well, and Pulse got it in next week. So it seems to be dropping in the UK like this weekend.
I can get that up on screen if my computer will allow me to. But yes, in the UK right now, it is basically it's arriving this weekend, straight from stock from Hasbro. Because it's the bank holiday, it won't actually land in stock on Pulse until maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. But it seems like some of the independents will be getting it tomorrow. So if you do want the retro carded Kraven and you are in the UK and you maybe want to beat that bank holiday, because remember, you won't get, if you order it Friday regularly, you probably won't get it till Tuesday, Wednesday. You might be able to sneak in and get Craven, pay next day delivery. You could be one of the first to have it on a Saturday. That's usually how I play this game. People think Hasbro send me shit. Again, you guys know that's not the case. I have to buy things, but again, you spend an extra couple of quid on the shipping because you're impatient. I'm impatient, and you can get things a little bit quicker. So there you go. There's your tricks of the trade. And as you can see right next to him, it's not just Craven, it's the new Ronin as well, which looks pretty good. I've seen a picture of the unmasked head up close and personal, and it does look really good. Like, not just the promo images, I've seen the actual product picture, and it looks really, really good. So yeah, I may backtrack, get that just to display with the head. So yeah, there you go. If you're in the UK, you want to get yourself Craven, Star Action figures, Kapow, In Demand, Comic and Cocktails, I'm sure they will all have it in stock tomorrow at some point. So just gotta hope they ship out quick. Justin Collects says, George left, and now his displayed modelling behaviour's biggest supporter. Damn you! I've got nothing but love for George and David. All good, all good. It's all fine. He's in Japan now anyway, right? He's in Japan. He should be the one getting all the legends first. He's right there.
You can get all the things first, can't he? Like the what do they call them? Like Mathex and Mythexes and Figure Arts. You should be able to get all them first.
But to be an English-speaking toy reviewer in Japan, that must be game-changing for David. So fair play to him.
Are Legends big in Japan though?
I don't know. I'm not there. We should have David, shouldn't we? We should. But no, nothing but love for George. Again, I felt really, really bad. I kept apologising. He said it was fine, but I haven't seen him since. So, just saying.
To your face. That's what you say to your face.
Just saying. Okay, so let's get into this Marvel Legend news so we can get into our main topic. Okay, so I do want to say that last week I was showing you, I got some of the Legends early, talking about getting Legends early. I've started to do reviews on the channel, nice and slow, but we've had some news this week as well, so I've sprinkled in some news. So, of course, I've got the Elektra Daredevil review, currently the only one on YouTube, I believe. So if you want to go and see that and put it up close and personal, go and check that out. I've got the news, I've got Rose up there as well, and Tarantula, both on the retro card. It hurt me to know when I haven't got a second one on reserve to open those retro cards up. Like, I was like, I don't want to do it, but I did it for you guys, so you could see. So Tarantula and Rose.
And you took him off the card. You lost all the bits that Tarantula came with as well. Like, where are they?
To be honest, there was nothing there, Rich. There was nothing there. Nothing there.
Outrage, Dan.
Nothing there. Nothing. It weren't me. They just didn't give a shit. That's all it was. And Miles is doing relatively well as well. People seem to, of course, Into the Spider-Verse hype. People love Miles Morales. Maybe people were very curious at this particular costume design. Now, obviously, I'm not picking up comics at the minute at all. So, like, this costume design is not familiar to me. Did you ever see it pop up? Is it still around, Rich?
What one?
This costume design, like, as it popped up, 'cause you were reading the Dark Web and stuff like that, right? So
yeah, I don't think he wasn't in Dark Web. I can't remember him being in Dark Web, but I think he's got out of it now. I think he's gone back to his normal one. He like had it for like a year, and then he's gone back to this like normal outfit.
Probably a good decision. It's
summer in the Marvel universe now. He needs a jumper.
Exactly, too warm. But going off my comments, it's not a very popular costume design in the comments. Comics all the same.
I think it's hard with these characters when they get, like, Miles became popular with that costume. It's like the same with Jessica Drew. It's like, I think certain costumes become like iconic to that character. I think there's characters like the X-Men who change so much that you can change their costume. Yeah. I think like Spider-Man, Superman, people like that.
Northern Nomad's at it.
Northern Nomad donated $5. I support both DANWHO and DDMB because you both SUCKAS in my book. Lol, open mouth smile.
Thank you very much, Northern Nomad. He says, I support both Dan Who and David Display's model behaviour because you are both suckers in my book. LOL. We appreciate you, Dave, aka Northern Nomad. Absolutely. Again, Dave is a fellow UK guy. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. I've met David at MCM as well. He was fine. He was absolutely fine. So yeah, anyway, back to it. Reviews on the channel. Go and check them out if you want to. I do plan on doing Ben Reilly, Caslum, and Jessica Drew before the weekend's out. And then, as I said, fingers crossed, Craven as well on the way. So yeah, plenty of Legends to come on the channel, of course. But let's get into some actual Legend news then, Rich. Let's start off with this one, as it was the first piece of news. And it is Nighthawk and Blur, another two characters to the Squadron Supreme to go along with the other 2-pack that has just started to hit retail right now with Hyperion and Dr. Spectrum. So what do you think of this pack? First impressions while I go through some picks.
Yeah, it looks really good. So this is Nighthawk's updated look from the most recent run of the Avengers, and especially like the Heroes Reborn crossover from last year. So it like reflects that look. So it's obviously different to the classic look that he wore in Defenders, which we've had before. But this is a really good looking figure. Like all pinless as well. Like the face sculpt looks really nice. It's kind of like Batman meets Wolverine type of thing with the things.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Then you've got Blur as well, who's like this all yellow guy. Again, another pinless body, all pinless again. Like we've had another vision of this. We've had Speed Demon, who came like from a different parallel universe into the Marvel universe, ended up joining like the Thunderbolts. He was on the Superior Foes of Spider-Man as well. I think a lot of people know from that. And this is a different version then of like the Flash version of the Justice League. This is Speedy Man. But yeah, he looks really nice, really vibrant with all those yellows. And yeah, pops on the shelf and pinless. So that's good.
Yeah, both of them. Look at that. Both of them are completely pinless. Now, usually when these 2-packs come around, there's usually a mix of the aesthetic, the Marvel Legends aesthetic, where they're always so close to nailing it. Where on this one, like... they've done a decent job here of making sure that they're both sort of uniform with each other. They're both pinless. They're both on the Vulcan body. I think people were pointing out to me that that Speed Demon, not Speed Demon, Blur, isn't on the Vulcan body, but he's got the updated arms and legs. So he's on the Sunfire body with the pinless arms and legs, and it is Nighthawk who is on the Vulcan body. That's why he's a bit buffer. Where I thought originally when I did my video, I was like, oh, maybe they're both Vulcan, and maybe that's a new torso piece for Nighthawk. But no, that is the Vulcan body on Nighthawk, and then Blur has the just updated arms and legs. So now we know they can give us sort of that Sunfire body. There's no reason to give us pins on that body again now. Hasbro have dug themselves that hole. But they both get interchangeable hands, so they both come with fisted hands, both come with a set of like expressive hands, and then we get some boomerang style. Definitely not Batman ripoff. So that's definitely not what they are.
It's a Nighthawk. It's a hawk. What are you on about?
Of course, nothing to do with Batman. So yeah, Nighthawk has nothing to do with Batman. He's not inspired by Batman at all. It's just a coincidence. And then Blur isn't inspired by the Flash either. Like genuinely just a coincidence. Nothing to do with the Flash. So yeah, so here we have Barry and Bruce. I mean, no, sorry. See, even I'm getting confused. So yeah, both of these go along with Hyperion, who's definitely not Superman, and Dr. Spectrum, who's definitely not Spectrum. Who's magical?
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. Oh, of course, because yes, obviously I was right there with you. And we're missing one member. So again, this is what sort of kicked off our idea for today's stream. Is who they're missing, Rich?
Well, just like Todd McFarlane, because obviously the Hasbro team are inspired by the best-selling toy line in the world, who also lacks a Wonder Woman. It is Power Princess.
Yes.
No Wonder Woman, no Power Princess, no hope for anyone.
No hope. Yeah, let me. I should have got a picture up for Power Princess. You can go check out my video, and I've got some images up. But I'm typing in Power Rangers. Why am I doing that? Power Princess. Marvel, there we go. So yeah, I'll grab a picture for you so you can see. So she is, of course, the Wonder Woman inspired character of this team. So she will definitely be like a bigger than average female in regards to like muscle and strength and stuff like that. I'm trying to find a decent picture here.
Oh, Dan, you know she's coming on the silk body mold.
And that's what I mean. Like, don't get me wrong. The body mold's pinless and all that. There she is. Oh, why is it so bloody small? I just talked about calling her big. Right, there she is. So, so the Shriek body mold is pinless, which is great, but she needs more bulk. She needs to be a little bit more impressive, especially when standing next to Hyperion and Nighthawk. She needs to sort of be on par with them, but the female vibe. So, she is one member we need to complete that version of the Squadron Supreme. But Dan Yoon was aware of that, and before people start, I'm sure people already did start tweeting him, but before it got out of hand, Dan Yoon on Twitter did go to say, don't worry, they're well aware they need one more. I'll find that tweet so you can see it from the source yourself. See, if I was more prepared, I would have had this stuff up ready, but I forget these things. But I think Dan Yoon's on holiday now as well. Enjoy yourself, Dan, if you're watching on the replay. This is a great show for Hasbro to watch, by the way. So if you are watching, if you're going to watch any show, watch this one, all right? Because these figures we need to complete teams, okay? Thank you very much. There's a Tina Turner tribute, RIP, of course. Where is it? I don't know if he did it in a response to one of his tweets. Maybe he did. Okay, I can't find it. He definitely said it, though. You're going to have to take my word for it. Can't find it. But yeah, you've seen it, right? I'm not making this up. Didn't dream it. Power Princess has come in. They're aware.
He's deleted it now. He's seen next year's list.
Oh, shit.
It's not on there. Delete.
Gave us a bit of false hope there yesterday. Or whenever it was. So, no, Power Princess... So, how long of a gap did we have between the Hyperion set and this set? Like, months, right?
Yeah, only a couple of months, not long at all.
That's what I'm saying. So give it a couple of months, and then maybe Power Princess will pop up. But do you reckon we'll get her in a wave? Do you reckon she'll be in?
After researching our topic today and seeing the gaps between some of these figures, maybe 2099 we'll get Power Princess.
No. Oh no, I hope not. Anyway, these two figures are great. Again, if you're not into the characters, not a problem. Move along. As Rich said, we do have a Speed Demon and we do have a Nighthawk that are both out right now if you prefer those versions. But if you are trying to complete this team, if you did recently pick up that Hyperion 2-pack, then you go. You're going to need this one. And it's always nice to complete teams on the display. They just look a lot better. And these are at least utilizing some of the more modern enhancements of Marvel Legends. So aesthetically, they're right up there with probably as best as they can give us right now. Are they perfect? No, nothing is, but they look very good for what they're meant to be representing. Of course, value's a question, more heads, etc. would be great. I'd always prefer more expressive options or more accessories, stuff like that, absolutely. But for the figure, taking it for what it is, pinless, looks like the character design, I think they've done a decent job here. Would you agree, Rich?
Yeah, they look good. Yeah, they just, for the price, they could come more. That's exactly. The only thing.
I agree. And I think that's fair. All right, next up. They revealed this only yesterday, I believe. Yeah, it was yesterday. And then it's went up for pre-order today. So this is what we like to see. So we're talking about missing team members today. Now, this team has lots of different incarnations, lots of characters switch in and out. But it is still nice to complete a team in the box. And this is nearly there. I think you're missing Hawkeye and you've essentially got the remnants of a team. But still... You've got a lot of characters from the same team in a box. It's a team in the box, and it is the West Coast Avengers. So it's a pretty big team. It's a pretty notable team, and it's got a couple of characters we actually haven't got these versions of in figure form. So yeah, there's a bit to break down in this set because there's a bit of old, a little bit of new. And then some of the news frustrating, and then some of the old maybe better than the old, if that makes sense. So let's just go through this. But let me ask Rich first and foremost. West Coast Avengers, you're a big fan. Of course, we know Tigra is in this box set. But in general, do you like the West Coast Avengers, and do you like the opportunity to get some more figures for the team?
Love the West Coast Avengers. I'm glad they have finally rounded out like the initial team. I mean, there's other team members they could do. But we'll get into that in a minute. Obviously, it is nice to see a West Coast Avengers set. Obviously, 60th anniversary of Avengers this year. Like, Amazon exclusive. Okay. And we'll get into the characters in a minute. But Tigra, a new Tigra. She got a new head. She's got a new head, Dad.
Yeah, breaking down the accessories. You know we like head on this channel. So she is the only one that comes with the extra head. You can see down here. So to be fair, we predicted, shout out David Evan Smith who helped break this down with me, but we predicted what the accessories would be. Usually when they say 16 comic inspired accessories, it sounds really fancy for the write-up, but the reality is we're getting a lot of interchangeable hands and they literally count each hand individually. I've had this argument already. A pair should be counted as one, but anyway, that's just me. So yeah, Tiger's the only one that comes with a head. The rest of them come with interchangeable hands, and I think it's a Mockingbird who comes with some weapons and blast effects for Iron Man or Sylvan Centurion. But it is Tony behind the mask. So there's that. Let's break these down then and go through them. And we'll talk about the differences and changes, etc. So we'll start off with what I consider the main event of this pack, as this is the one that's probably going to frustrate people the most. As out of everyone in this set, this is the one that you can't really get on the shelf right now. It is the classic look for Mockingbird. Now, it's a character that we absolutely needed to fill certain gaps on the shelf. It's the design we want, sort of, nearly there, and she is pinless. So I'm trying to cling on to some positive, but the reality is it's not quite there. It's not quite there. Rich, tell 'em why. What's going on here?
Right, so I thought when Mockingbird would finally get revealed in this classic look, the arguments people would be having would be about whether she's got trousers or whether she's got bare legs, right? I thought that would be the argument. I didn't think the one thing they would fuck up a Mockingbird would be the sleeves. I thought that Lady Deathstrike is made. It's got those sleeves already, like, made. I thought they would get them. Now, to be fair to them, they have done some kind of new sculpting on these sleeves, right? So she has got a tiny little baggy sleeve at like your elbow.
It's
but
hard
then,
to see. It's hard to see.
But then, right,
Yeah.
so that's like that. Okay, so that works. But then they painted the forearm place. So she's got a sleeve and then another thing, and it makes no sense. It looks stupid, and it pissed me off, to be honest with you, Dan. Because this should have been the main event with this thing. Should have been this Mockingbird people. Like 3 of the other figures you've already got. Hank Pym, people have got some version of him. Bobby's only come in like her modern version. So this should have been the one that would draw people in, the suckers in to buy this 5-pack again who've already got it. And they fucked it up. Like, the face looks nice. The body, I mean, the neckline is high again, but I mean, that's, Hasbro don't like boobs. So that is another thing. But it's just the arms, man. I just don't get how you can fuck it up so much. But there we are.
And
there we go.
And you said all of that, which you are completely right, and you didn't even mention the fact that they're single jointed as well.
I know.
So like,
but I would have But then if you're going to do single jointed, I would take out single jointed like Lady Deathstrike. I mean, like those. If you're going to do single jointed, those arms are already made. You just need like new forearms in there. And it would have been done.
So here's Lady Deathstrike. I'll jump to the big camera real quick so you can see what's going on. So she has these big sleeves and they're attached to the forearm as well. So you could essentially pop out. She's also got the single joint. So you could essentially pop out this forearm section and then you've got the big sleeves, which like they could have worked. They could have worked better than what we're currently getting here with Mockingbird. So people could possibly, again, we shouldn't have to go to this trouble, but people like to switch around their figures and make them as accurate as they can. You could maybe pop out the arms of Lady Deathstrike and then paint up her sleeve. Maybe. I'm sure someone will out there in the community and post pictures on Reddit so we can see how it looks. But yeah, even Todd, aka Rectangular, he pointed this out straight away. They could have used these, which again, we know Hasbro like reuse, and it does seem like a layup to use something like this especially over what they have went for instead, which is like this very timid sort of sorry, that's Silverton's drawing. This very timid sort of shoulder. Like in these promo pictures, you can't even see it. That's how little it's there.
Yeah.
Like you can't genuinely look. I'm trying to find it to show you as an example. Look, and you can't even tell that she has anything to like show off her sleeves, and that's a big trait of her character design in the comic. Is when she's standing neutral or whatever, she just has these big sleeves like flaring down. Like
it's like comic characters have like silhouettes to them, right? So it's like if you put that all in black, you can tell who certain characters are.
Yes.
And we'll see this later on because I've done everything in silhouette to prove this point, right? But this Mockingbird, like that is her iconic look. Like whether she's got bare legs or like trousers leg, that doesn't make a difference. She's got her boots, she's got a mask, and she's got the sleeves. And it's like, if you're not going to do that, what's the point in doing a Mockingbird figure? That's what I don't get. If they didn't have the budget for it, then, why bother doing this? Like, chuck an old pinless Wonder Man in here instead or something. Because I think this is the figure most people want. I know, like, people in the chat are saying they'll probably end up doing that as a, like, single card release. But it shouldn't be. It should be if this is the first time we're going to get her. Like, put her, like, we've got these, like... She's a gymnast. She's a super spy. Like, put her on that blooming highly articulated Black Widow body that's come in. That's what they could use. Yeah. Or if they are going to do single jointed, use the arms that they've got for Lady Deathstrike. It's just, it misses. And then what they've done with this, like, if you are going to do this and use this sculpt, at least, like, do, like, flesh coloured on this bit of the forearm. So it looks like sleeves. Like, as you say, it gets lost. The silhouette is all wrong. And it just looks phoned in. Like, they couldn't be bothered.
It's frustrating. As I said, she's meant to, like you said, she's meant to be the main event, and like you try and pick out what's good here. Like as I said, they've gone for the pinless legs, but then you're like, well, actually, reality is it's not the representation of the character that we've all been asking for. And again, how long before we get another opportunity? You don't know, years. So yeah, I can understand why people are frustrated with this one for sure. But it's just it's hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes to justify their decisions because we're never going to know. But
and it's just the price points now as well. I think there was some give before. Like if this was like a 1999, even then, I mean, there shouldn't be any give on a 1999 figure. But I think you had like more leeway with it. But I mean, this is it. Like essentially, if you want this, you're paying like $125 for this figure. Really, if this is the only one you want. And you're not getting the best version of that figure.
Bug Nice made a good point in his video saying that he gets frustrated when you don't get an interchangeable head and the one that you do get is windswept or like action posed. So like a person like me who displays quite neutral, I would prefer like the more neutral look. Do you know, like to create that silhouette like you're talking about, like just standing there. So like it is awkward when I have one displaying option and it's the action pose. Like it's not the be all end all, don't get me wrong, but if we are nitpicking here, then that's absolutely something that would be an issue with. I was saying in my video as well is that this is my personal preference as well, by the way, not saying this is like a wide view, but sometimes I don't mind sacrificing some articulation if it benefits the aesthetic and making the figure more comic accurate or more of my mind's eye. You know, if we have to have single jointed elbows over double jointed elbows, but it gives you a much better visual representation of the character design for our shelves, I would take that. And that's exactly what they could have done here, as in like, yes, unfortunately she has the single joints, but look at how good and accurate her sleeves look. You know, like that's where I don't mind the sacrifice. But if we're gonna, it seems like here we're sacrificing the articulation for the single joints, and we're also sacrificing a character trait with her sleeve. So it's like why? Like I don't understand why they go in certain directions. Because these guys read comics. They've had comics in front of them as they're designing this, I'm sure.
Do they? I'm starting to doubt that very much, Dan.
Some people were saying that she looks like her look from one of the Avengers cartoons, but then I looked at that, and even in that, she still has the big sleeves. So,
but it's like this costume has so many variations. Always, like Bobby gets like a ponytail in some bits. Like sometimes she has like the arms go to the elbow. Sometimes the sleeves go to the elbow. Sometimes the sleeves go to the wrist. Sometimes she's got like the trousers. Like there's a lot of different things you could do with it. But they did something that doesn't exist and look shit. So there we go.
so are we genuinely confident that she doesn't have a version out there with small sleeves? Like have they not found one panel that they've took inspiration from? And
she might have small sleeves, but she doesn't then have an undershirt on it, which comes the metal, to you.
Yeah.
So which I think Will said that like so it fits on the Sky Cycle, which is fair enough. But then this bit should still be painted flesh colored if you're going to do that. Like this look doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense as an outfit. Like as a woman, as fashion, like as a woman wearing clothes, this makes no sense. It makes no sense to have long sleeves here and then another outfit on underneath and then armbands. It's just stupid, but there we go.
I'm not going to speak on fashion. I wear the same outfit every day of my life, so like I won't comment on the fashion. But no, absolutely justified with some of those nitpicks. Again, and we're only frustrated because we actually want this character. We like so, and we've been waiting as well. So when we do get it, and it's not what we expected or what we thought we were going to get, it is frustrating. So there she is. She was meant to be the main event. And don't get me wrong, you know me, I love world building, and I would like a somewhat classic looking version, and this does look more classic looking than the one we've currently got. It just misses the mark. So moving on from her, we get Silver Centurion. Now, again, this is where we get into the redo aspect. Now, if you don't have these characters, then again, that's what this box set's for. But this was it a Walgreens exclusive or Walmart exclusive? It was something like that, weren't it? So they came, but it was single packed. It wasn't in a Build-A-Figure wave. He came with a ton of accessories, and this is pretty good. Like the only thing that bugs me is that the neck is sort of attached to the head, and it's got good range. But then if you want to like pose a Tony Stark head holding the helmet, he's got like the neck piece attached, which you could still probably fudge, but for me it was always a bugbear. But otherwise it's a pretty decent representation of the character design. This one is in the red with the sort of more chrome silver, so this seems like a straight up repaint, but now you've got the white instead of the silver.
Is the armor on the shoulders, is that the same?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So same sculpted detail on the armor for this one up. So is there a picture of the back? Let's go through. No, there's not a picture of the back, but on the back he has like some gear attached to it, but it's all sculpted onto the top piece. So it's gonna. I'm very confident this is exactly the same. It's just they've replaced the sort of chrome with the white. So it's a subtle change, but it's a change of the same. At least so you can tell the difference between the two versions. And again, this is fine. It is what it is. Like, could they have updated it? Gave us the pinless arms and legs? Yes, absolutely. But otherwise, it's a pretty decent representation of the character design. Any thoughts on this one, Rich, or just a straight up repaint?
I mean, it looks good, and like I'm not a big Hall of Armor collector, so I haven't got this figure. So
there you go.
I'm quite happy with it in the set.
There you go, and that's what sometimes these sets can do. Like, there's someone out there that hasn't got all these other figures, so like, and again, that's who it's appealing to. It's trying to just think every day, well, not every day, but every week, I'm sure there are new collectors considering getting on board with Legends, or parents are trying to share Legends with their kids, or whatever. Like, so they've got to constantly put out opportunities for people to like team build and stuff like this. So for the diehards like us that have been buying for years and years and years, of course we're going to have some of these figures, but we got to remember there's tons of people out there that don't have anything, and this is a good opportunity to get new characters for them. So yeah, so there you go. I have it, so I see this and go, nah. And Rich sees it and goes, great, I don't have it. So different perspectives. So next up, Hank Pym. Now this one's a little bit better for both of us because it's brand new. It's a costume design for Hank that we don't have. It's one that he specifically wore in West Coast Avengers, I think, really. And it's a new sculpted torso piece and a new head, confirmed by Paul Hardin on Twitter. So the arms and legs seem to be like the Dormammu sort of Red Skull, sort of pinless arms and legs, which are decent enough in this day and age of Marvel Legends, completely pinless. They do the job. They stand up, no problem, all of that. And then they got the new torso with the new head. And Paul Hardin is great at what he does, and it undoubtedly looks good. So to be fair, apart from wanting a little bit more with heads and accessories and stuff like that, as a base figure is what it is, I quite like it, and I ain't really got much bad to say about it. It's a nice representation of what it's meant to represent. Would you agree, Rich?
Start of the wave for me. Never would I thought a West Coast Avenger box set be revealed the Mockingbird in it, and the star of the show would be Hank Pym in his overalls. But Hank Pym, his jumpsuit is the star for me. This is like a great figure. It's a look that we haven't had before. And yeah, it looks really good. It looks really comic accurate, and it's got that like Red Skull. I know some people don't like the Red Skull body because the way the elbow joints moves is like, it's quite gappy. But again, for me, who just like displays it on a shelf, this looks nice. It fits in with that West Coast Avenger, and it's a look we haven't had in this shelf for a 5-pack of 5 figures. You know, there's only really 2 figures with looks we haven't had before. So this one is definitely the star for me. Hit.
Yeah, no, and again, like, I know we're well aware that his costume design isn't very flamboyant or toyetic. We're well aware of that, but we want our character, like, we buy these figures because we want them to be plastic representations of the designs and characters that we love from the comics or wherever, and that's exactly what this is. This is how he looked in the comics. He wore overalls. Boring as it is, that's what he wore. That's what we want represented in plastic, and that's exactly what we've got. So yeah, I quite like this one. So again, apart from, I would always want, like, as I said earlier, different expressions for the head sculpts or something like that, especially considering we've got loads of Ant-Man figures, and it would have been great to have a couple of extra Hank Pym heads that you could just sort of move around to display. But other than that, really like what we've got here, and there's potential for some reuse on this body. Do you think, Rich?
Oh, Big Will in the chat is already pointing out, I think if the VHS X-Men line comes back next year, Brandon might be salivating for his Savage Land Professor X.
Finally. Yeah, no, absolutely. Repaint this green, give him a bold cut, and he's good to go. So yeah, we're gonna. They don't tool up a new torso piece for no reason. Not for Hank Pym in a box set anyway. So yeah, there's other purpose for this. I am absolutely sure. So there you go. So it is what it is. Looks good. So again, and Rich was referring to Mockingbird and Hank were the 2 looks that we haven't got in the modern era of Legends. So there he is. Next up, someone we do have, one of Rich's favourites. We may have an emoji with his face blurred in there. I'll throw it to you, Rich. What have we got here?
Right, it's Tigra in her classic look with her new hairdo from classic West Coast Avengers. And again, they've made that a little for everyone who moaned that, oh my god, she's like a cheater, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, look, she looks fine. What are you on about? She's just been on the beach for a bit. Now you've got your classic tangerine colour. They're going to work their way through the I nearly said Durex wheel. That would be something different. The Dulax wheel.
Next,
I get every shade of I get every shade of orange Tigra, and I will buy them all because Tigra is the best of all Avengers. Again, it's a shame that the first reuse we've got of the Tigra body, it's not Feral, it's not Hepzibah, and it's not Wolfsbane. It is on another Tigra.
That is pretty.
I'm happy for this.
That is pretty funny.
I love Tigra. Tigra is the best of Avengers. I will buy any Tigra. So again, my points on this are probably moot, but I like the new head. I like that they put the other head in as well, and I like that it's got a different skin tone as well. So yeah, hit for this one.
You're not absolutely right, isn't it? It's funny that like for the last year or whatever it's been, we've been speculating, oh, they need to reuse that Tigra body. Which character could they possibly reuse this Tigra body on? And like a year later, they just give us another Tigra on this body, which is pretty funny.
Who could have predicted that? Not even we predicted that.
I know, yeah. Ridiculous. But like Rich said, brand new head sculpt, so it's a new neutral sort of face. Wow, it's the set. I think it is the same head face sculpt, but new paint and also a new hair. That's the big deal here. She's got new, sort of more wild but natural hair. This one, she's found herself a comb. This one's a little bit more after she's been doing something in the bedroom.
She's
wild.
still only got one year. Don't go to the savage land, children.
Yeah. So I think her bikini's a little bit more blue than blacky brown. So there are clearly differences on the deco. And until we get the figures side by side, we don't really know how much the oranges are going to be different, because this is a promo image. They obviously play with the lighting and stuff. But it is undoubtedly a different shade of orange. Look, you can see me holding her, and she sort of looks like she's glowing a little bit. So I do think this orange on the new Tigra is muted a little bit. She's not glowing.
She looks fine, Dan.
I think she looks
absolutely
fire.
Gorgeous.
I agree. I think she looks fire. I'm just pointing out the differences between the two Tigers. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to let people know that, yes, it's a redo of Tigra, but they have tweaked the orange, and one of the big criticisms with this Tigra was they didn't like the orange. So now
criticisms from who? Yeah. Send me their names.
I know, yeah. I can't believe it either, but I think I blocked most of them. But we do have another Tigra now, and again, only one that comes with a different head. So there you go. So probably the better out of the two Tigras we've got. So is it a redo? Yes, but is it an upgrade? Probably yes. And I personally don't mind a redo if it is an upgrade. And to be fair, Tigra was pretty good anyway. She's completely pinless and all that, moves great, etc. So we got a new head with it, different shade of orange. I'm happy with the Tigra one. So I'm with Rich. All good. So next up is it's Jennifer Carpenter, right? That's Spider-Woman, is it?
Julia. You confused me there. I was like, it's Jay.
I said Jennifer. Yeah. I said, oh, my bad. So it's Wonder Woman. It's Spider-Woman, who we have got before. She came. We've had her a few times in Legends, to be fair, but in the modern era, she came in the Spider-Man Molten Man builder figure wave, and she was packed in with the big piece, so didn't come with any accessories, no interchangeable hands, heads, or anything. So that's what we've got, and it was fine. Like, I actually do still quite like the head sculpt on this one, and her character design is very simple anyway. It's just black and it's just white. So this represented the character fine on the shelf. It was fine. So if you're going to upgrade this, you need to upgrade it with the current advancements in Legends, if you want to call them enhancements, and it's the pinlessness, and that's exactly what we get here with Julia. We have pinless version of Spider-Woman now with a new head sculpt. So when we say pinless, she's on the Shriek body, which is probably the best we can currently get for female bodies until we get that new Black Widow body, of course. So yeah, completely pinless, new head sculpt. I'm not too sure which head sculpt I prefer, looking at them both side by side, but I'm sure we'll be able to head swap, as she's got no skin showing, and she's got a black outfit, so you'll be able to swap the heads to your Harkins tent. So yeah, you go. What do you think of this one, Rich?
Oh, great. Yeah, I knew in a world we live in where the first Spider-Woman on pinless body is Julia and not Jessica, and a year that we've had two Jessicas, that's a whole different topic. But I think this looks really good. I think some people don't like this hair. They think it looks like old fashioned, like an old woman.
Poofy.
But I think this looks really like comic accurate to when Julia joins the West Coast Avengers. Like, Julia is not an original member. She joins like about halfway through the run and then stays till the end and then ends up on Force Works. And this, I think it looks a really good head sculpt. I really like that hair. And again, all pinless, like, great. And yeah, it looks really good. Definitely an update. And then now you can put like one Julia on your Spider-Verse shelf and one Julia with your Avengers. So there you go. Solution for everyone. And I wish though, no, on the other one, it came with that like side web hand with that like web.
Yeah.
And I wish that they put that in there again, because I like that accessory. I know it's been used like on, I think Silk and maybe Spider-Gwen came with it as well at some point. I think Spider-Gwen came with it, did she? I've definitely got someone with it.
It's like the splaring out spider effect.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But with Julia one, because she had like psionic web, so it's like kind of like translucently pink in it. It's like that like translucent colour. So I wish they'd given us like another one of them. That would have been good. And it's already sculpted, but again, yeah, can't complain about this. Update to that figure. So if you've missed out, it's good to get the best version. And if you have got that old version, at least it is like an update on that as well.
Yeah, so again, upgrade. So let me jump to this box set again, go back to the back, just to show you again, in regards to accessories, hands and effect pieces for Iron Man. You've got the 2 batons and the staff and some hands. She doesn't come with 2 fists, she comes with a karate chop. There you go.
Or maybe they're hiding up her sleeve. Oh, hang on, she hasn't got a sleeve, never mind.
Hank Pym comes with extra hands, Julia comes with hands, and Tigra comes with hands and a head. So there you go. So again, yes, we have some of these figures already, obviously, but the ones that we are getting again, at least they've upgraded. Maybe not so much the Iron Man, but I personally, again, not saying this is universally thought process, but I look at this and my perspective is they are at least giving us an updated version of Julia, and they've tweaked Tigra to be more maybe universally liked in regards to the orange colour. Sorry, Rich. But again, the frustrations are the new character that we really, really wanted, the A-list of the set, isn't hitting the mark. Hank Pym's nice though, and again, just the point on like getting characters twice, like I don't see that as a big deal. Like when I see a box set like this and I think, oh, there's another character in it, like I don't think to myself, oh no, I now need to sell the one I have. Like I know that's a lot of people's thought process, which is great, which is, don't get me wrong, it's something you can do. You can sell the old one you've got to make a bit of money and then get the money off the new one, etc. Like that's how you play the game. I completely get it, but I don't instantly think that. I do what Rich does and think, wow, the Marvel Universe is so big and vast, and I've got like a big display. Now I can just like move them around, and like if I have another Iron Man, I can display one with the helmet on, one with the helmet off, maybe one on a flight stand, one not. Obviously, I've got Tigra, I can move her around in different teams. Now Julia as well, I can move her in different teams. So I don't instantly think, oh no, I need to get rid of the one I've got. I can now fill up other gaps and move them in other places. I can have a Julia on my Spider-Verse shelf. I can have now one on my Avengers shelf. So yeah, I'm just saying there's always a different perspective to look at things. You don't have to constantly go, oh no, we've already got this. Don't get me wrong, would I want a 5-pack with all brand new characters, completely pinless, with loads of accessories? Yes, absolutely. I'm just saying, what we get, there is some good as well as bad. I'm not saying it's all good, but there is a little bit of good in there as well. And again, you don't have to buy anything either. That's the magic of this thing. You can walk on by. Walk on by. I need to get a trumpet so when we say that, do. That is a song, right? I haven't made that up.
Yeah, that is a song. But this, to be fair, this is an Amazon exclusive. So even if you buy it, chances are they might not ship it. Hello, Ronan, still waiting for you.
Oh, fuck. I feel bad, so I took his Ronan. But yeah, and I've seen a lot of people, the majority of people respond to my video or on Instagram say, oh, I like this, but I'll wait for the sale. So again, proving my point, it's not that people don't want these figures, it's they don't see the value. It's as simple as that. If people seen the value, they would jump at it straight away. So it's not that they don't like the product, because universally, a lot of people are like, yes, I want it, but then they follow that up with, I'll wait for the sale. So it means they just don't see the value in the product. So you up the value, give us more, give us, and like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's still one of those debates.
Yeah, I think that, like you said about 5 new characters, if this was 5 completely new characters, then I think that's more value to people. Like if it was 5 characters we've never had before as well.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like with this one, if say you only maybe there's probably 3 people out there who only like the West Coast Avengers. It's the only book they read. It's the only thing they collect like figures of. So they would probably buy every figure as it came out and get them all. And then with this box set, it's like they're only getting like Hank Pym and Mockingbird new, and then the Mockingbird is a shit version of Mockingbird. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. There's all different swings and roundabouts in there.
Completely get it. I'm looking in the chat now. Jay says I'm in the Sow Now Panic Club. The Wolfpack says 3 of my 5 are about to walk on by. And again, you could buy this set and sell off what you don't want. You can always do that. In the last X-Men Villains 5-pack, I've seen people selling off Vertigo. Like people thought no one would want Vertigo and no one would want Zero. I've seen people buying Vertigo and Zero separately in Facebook groups and stuff. So my point is, there's always someone out there that will want these extra figures. So, again, you are all collectors. You know how to play the game. You buy, you sell, etc. You trade and swap and whatever. So, again, there's always ways to get the figures that you do want in big sets like this. Like, just to communicate with each other. There's probably
Remember that summer that everyone was selling the Negasonic from the Negasonic Deadpool 2-pack? And I bought about 5 of them. And now it's like, she's going to be the MCU now. And all those MCU suckers, they're going to be like, oh, I need my Negasonic. And I'll be like, yeah, 50 quid.
Yeah, and again, this happens all the time. I always say this to people. Sometimes things seem plentiful at retail. Like, things are plentiful, things go on sale, and they just linger for ages. They peg warm, and then they disappear. And it's when they disappear, they start creeping up on the about to say black market then, on the sort of aftermarket. And that's because there are new people getting on board collecting every day. People change their collecting habits every day. Again, there is no rule to collecting. There's no rules. People make their own rules and break their own rules. So, like, every single day, people are adapting and collecting different things and getting off one line, starting another line, building different teams. One day, people are like, oh, I'm only collecting X-Men. The next day, they're like, oh, actually, I'm getting some Avengers as well. So there's always people buying and selling, buying and selling. So, yeah, my point is, if you want any of these figures, you're going to have an opportunity to get on, I'm sure. But Amazon, not in the UK yet anyway, but we've got to hold out a little bit. They're usually slow. It usually does go up, but they're just slow. So that's
it's usually 24 hours later, and it's like, nowhere in Europe has got it up yet. It's only America, so I'm sure tomorrow it'll probably go up. I'm sure we'll all link it if we get to it as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, as I said, in those week's reveals, it sparked this idea of doing today's theme. So this is where I will put the timestamp in the comments and the timestamp in the description. Let's officially get into our top 10, in no particular order, missing members for our Marvel Legends displays, okay?
Oh, look, you said missing members and David Eversmith appears.
Ah, there he is. George, are you out there, George? He's got still no George. So, yeah, let's get into our missing members. So, again, our rules are with this, it has to be a team that has only one missing member, okay? So, like Rob Pollock earlier listed loads of characters. There are plenty of characters we still need to build out teams, but we're talking about teams where you only need one more Marvel Legend, one more character created in plastic, and you could proudly display the whole team accurately on your shelf. And at the end of the day, that's what we all love doing. Love world building, completing out those teams. A team always looks better displayed when they're together. It just looks like the comics come to life. It's always fun. So let's do exactly that. So let's start off with an easy one, a relevant one, as we've started to get a few of these figures recently. Let's start off with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. And we're playing a game with you guys on this one. Who's missing here? Okay, so please get involved in the chat. That's the magic of being here live today. You can get involved in the chat. Don't discredit the skill level it takes to participate in this game. Who's missing? Who do we need from the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants to complete this team, this lineup? I think these
this is, like, just to be specific, this is the Mystique team. Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. I know Spiral could be part of this team. We've already got her and she can a bit later. So to complete this like 5-member team, we just need one more person. Who could it be?
Who could it be? Curtis, thank you very much. He says there's no Mandia. We riot.
If there's no Marina, we riot.
We riot. Okay.
Keep watching.
We've got 10. We've got 10. We've got 10 to go. This is only number 1. Okay. This is only number 1. So who are we missing? Okay. So the chat. 16 Shooter says freaking classic Angel. Have to wait and see.
It's a picture of Shadow the She-Devil, but that one comes up now.
Right, Arvin gets 10 points. Jack Dan gets 10 points. A few people are throwing other ones in there as well. They're trying to catch us off guard. Okay, let's just jump into it. This is the first one. One that we absolutely need. It is, of course, Destiny. The blind old lady friend of Mystique that can see into your future. We have not got her in figure
lady
form.
Friend? I think lover, you mean, Dan.
That's what I meant. So yeah, we haven't got her. We've never had her, right? In the Legends line ever, full stop, period. Toy Biz, anything, nothing.
No, never. We've had her in a mini-mate. We've had her in an Eagle Moss like statue thing, but we've never had her in action figure form ever.
Sad times. And again, we've got so many characters recently in this team. Like Pyro, we got in the 2-pack maybe over 18 months ago, maybe. Avalanche came this year. Mystique we've had for a little bit. To be fair, she was a Walgreens exclusive. There was the VHS Mystique that some people have used to fill gaps. And then Blob is potentially one of the best figures of this year. One of the best figures of 2023, at least so far. He will probably stay in that top category until the end of the year as well. Blob is a very impressive Marvel Legend figure. So yeah, give us Destiny. And we'll complete this team very nicely. And like Rich said, you can add in Spiral if you want there. Again, maybe we get some sort of Freedom Force down the line. They get a repainted gold Spiral. Who knows? Who knows? Craig's Nostalgia Collection, thank you very much. He says, I like this pack, but I wish we got a Firebird instead of Tigra. Spider-Woman, Hank is a hit. Mockingbird, there is so much more they could have done. So he was on about the 5-pack we were talking about earlier. There it is. Yes, completely agree. A Firebird, I don't think Rich would agree with swapping her out for Tigra, but maybe it's a sick pack with Firebird he'd probably get on board with.
I'd swap Firebird out for that for Mockingbird.
For more accurate Mockingbird. So yes, back to Destiny. So there you go. People in the chat absolutely agree. Some people in the chat though, Rich, are saying Mastermind as well. What do you think of Mastermind?
So Mastermind and Toad obviously are both members of the Brotherhood, but they are more like the classic era. They weren't this era of, this is like the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, like Days of Future Past era. So this is like Mystique leading it. You've got Destiny, Avalanche, Pyro, and Blob. Technically, you could put Rogue on it because Rogue is on it for a bit, but Toad was never on the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants where Mystique and Destiny were on it together. He's came on it before and on it after. And I don't think Mastermind was on it at this time. I think Mastermind was like dying of the legacy virus at this time.
I always see these two in my head with Magneto.
Yeah, Magneto, Quicksilver,
exactly.
Scarlet Witch. That kind of, they're the first version of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
So if you're trying to create a Brotherhood of Mutants just set off from Magneto, then yes, you don't need these two. This is a custom one I made, by the way, because we have technically got a head sculpt for Mastermind in that Wolverine Villains box set. He was in his sort of Jason Wingard sort of smarter Hellfire Club attire, but they did give him the ugly head, interchangeable head.
Oh, so ugly. Oh.
Yeah, so what I've got a soft goods cape on here, soft good coat on here, custom made by Rebel 10 Customs on top of a Mobius body from Loki. And it works. It does the trick, all right? So shout out Rebel 10 Customs. I'm not really a customizer guy as such, but I don't mind a little kit bash to fill some gaps in the collection until we inevitably get figures. Ray Ortiz with a super chat. Thank you so much.
Ray Ortiz donated $9.99. Happy Thursday, guys. Great stream so far.
Cheers to you, Ray. Much appreciated. He says, happy Thursday, gents. Guys, great stream so far. Thank you so much, Ray. We're only just getting started, my friend. We're only in 1 of 10 missing Marvel Legends, all right? So again, Hasbro, you're watching, take note. Destiny, all right? Destiny, please. But yes.
And for everyone that moans as well about like the length of time between like figures and stuff, this is the shortest gap between figures on the list. Because like Mystique, she only came out in 2019. Then you had Pyro, came out in 2020. Avalanche and Toad were both last year, 2022. And Blob in 2023. So if Destiny came out this year, it would only be like a 4-year gap between getting the whole team. But we'll see.
Yep, and again, that's sort of what I was alluding to earlier with the... I was a little bit off of my timing, but I knew they were all relatively recent Legends. All hold up in a collection is my point. They all fit in aesthetically with like the modern Marvel Legends display. So yes, give it to Destiny, please. She's got a unique character design. And yeah, really, really want that one. I think I mentioned that multiple times during my Blob review and when I was reviewing some of these figures. So yes, please. Okay, next up. One close to my heart, as you know. But we are missing a member of Excalibur. Now, you've got to think to yourself of that Excalibur cover, that famous cover. What issue number was that? I can't quote the number, but I picture it in my head so vividly. And there's a character we're missing.
Issue number 1. Issue number 1,
Dan. There you go. Of course it is. And I don't know if you've noticed, someone sort of fell off frame.
Those bloody jelly legs, Dan. They just all the women figures. They just fall off.
Someone's just sort of
bloody. Poor Kitty Pryde. Just missed out being in the photo.
She just fell off frame when they say cheese and she just fell. Those legs.
I tried to keep her in and she just kept like falling over.
And by the way, shout out to Rich as we're doing this, because he could have just grabbed a picture from Google, but no, he's actually showing you the Marvel Legends we actually physically have right now that you can go out and purchase, all right? So these Marvel Legends that you see on the pictures are all available to buy, and then the character we need is the missing piece to complete that team, okay? So there's Destiny, and then all these Marvel Legends you can get. Now, of course, there was that famous Excalibur box set, which had Captain Britain, and some really handsome UK British YouTuber had the reveal for that. Can't remember his name though. I wonder who it was.
Super Sorrel had Mastermind. Super Sorrel had Mastermind.
She did do a reveal, to be fair. That's very true. But Megan, Kitty Pryde, and Brian, Captain Britain, were all in a 3-pack. We'd already got Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler was part of the Wendigo Build-A-Figure wave, I want to say, yeah. And he's a great figure. And again, I'm surprised we haven't had a reissue of him with like a different colour outfit yet, because that seems like a really easy do. But they haven't yet. But I'm sure it's inevitable. But there is a missing character, and the chat are absolutely bang on. Cloud shouting Rachel. Ian shouting Rachel. David says, I love the crop of this pic. Tac says, Rachel Summers. Rachel Summers Phoenix, says Arvin. Mike says, Feral. You're too early, Mike. Slow down. Come back in a minute. Shout that again in about 5 minutes, all right? But yes, of course, it is Rachel Phoenix in her look. Now, I know a few people have sort of been customizing their own version, etc., for a temporary gap, just like I did with Mastermind, which is fair play. Sometimes it's frustrating when you're so close to completing the team and you're only missing one character and you can do a little kit bash. But this character design she's wearing with the spikes and stuff, I don't think you can really kit bash accurately. So we need a new figure, not just a new head in a box. We need a newly tooled Marvel Legend figure, and she has potential for accessories as well. You give her a Phoenix like flames and stuff, but yeah, we need like the punk style outfit with all the spikes sculpted on there. Like,
she needs like an alternate head with her hound marks, with scars on the side as well. Again, I was like with Rachel, can they do those spikes? But then seeing the Destroyer, I'm like, they could do the spikes on these easy. So I think like Rachel is like a much needed figure. Again, going off Daniel's tweet this week, this was another one that was coming soon, which was said about when the Excalibur wave dropped. That was back in 2021. You had that one, was it?
I believe so, yeah.
So that's when Kitty Pryde, Captain Britain, and Megan all came out, and then Nightcrawler was back out in
2018, I think.
2018? 2019?
One of the two.
One of the two, but it's about 4 or 5 years again for this one. So if Rachel drops this year, that would be like a great figure to complete this lineup. Again, with Excalibur, so this is like the classic version of Excalibur. There are like other characters like Killan, Cerise, Amanda Sefton join later on. But for that classic team, you kind of need these. And if you're going to do a 2-pack, check out with like a different version of Captain Britain with his like the other costume, or Megan in an orange costume. There's options you can do if you want to do a 2-pack of them. But they definitely do need that classic Rachel.
As much as that Captain Britain holds a special place in my heart, we can do better with Captain Britain. Absolutely, we can do better. Like he can have a better articulated body. He's had a slight tweak to his character design, like a different expression for the head sculpt, etc. So yeah, as much as I love that Captain Britain, who crew forever, we can do better. We can do better there. And again, Megan's like, because her hair's so heavy, I have her standing, but she can fly anyway, right? That's where she can. She's looking. So I've got her on a flight stand because she suffers the same fate as poor Shadowcat there, toppling over constantly. But luckily her hair clips her in place on a flight stand quite conveniently. So there you go. So yes, of course, UK repping. We need Phoenix to complete Excalibur, Rachel Summers. So again, just to reiterate what we're doing here today, we are talking about what one Marvel Legend character is missing to complete a team we already have in plastic. So again, all the pictures of the figures that are out right now on screen, and we're missing these one. We need one more to complete a team. Let's move on to the next team. And I told you, Mike, you read the future. You're just like Destiny. You were just there ahead of us. A little bit too early, but you can shout it again if you want.
No, don't shout it. Wait. Still too early.
My bad. Nearly. Now I'm too early. Okay, I know where this one's going. The chat can help me out here. Clearly, I was getting it confused, but the chat can help me out here. So
same silhouette. See, Dan, you can tell from the silhouette. It looks like 1 or 2 people, doesn't it? See that silhouette? Yeah. It's going to be 1 or 2.
I know what team she's put it in as well. So that's just me getting. That's just me. That's Mike getting me excited. That's all. Strong guy, multiple men there, like we did there, Rich. Perez and Havoc. All very colourful match. They definitely stand together on my shelf, but we are missing a character now. Technically, I'll break it down in a second.
People are saying Feral now because Cloud's realising she's retracted.
Yeah, that's my bad. People, I told you, I was the same. Mike tricked me out as well. Maybe Feral, maybe not even on this list. Probably not, but probably is. But yes, Cloud she's absolutely right now. Jay says, as long as they make the Spikes outfit, Spikes soft, ribbed for your pleasure. Sorry for the filth. Yeah. What you planning on doing with that Phoenix there, Jay? Dangerous. Dangerous. Okay, of course. I'll just say I'll save us despair of shouting Feral anymore because it's Wolfbane. It's Wolfbane. Very close, obviously, but it's Wolfbane. Now, technically, as I was saying, I didn't want to give it away too early, but there is a way to sort of have a Marvel Legends Wolfbane in your current collection, but it's not on par. It's not good enough. So you know what I'm alluding to, right, Rich?
Yeah. So my Wolfsbane is I've bought a second Polaris. Then I took the arms off the Outback, the punk version of Storm. So she's got the arms off the punk version of Storm.
You've done a better kit bash than me, yeah.
Yeah, like the just arms. And I took the legs. Oh, did I take the legs off? I can't remember now.
Got furry legs?
No, she's got brown legs, and then like the furry boots off Black Cat I used as well. I painted them.
Did you paint the legs? Who's got brown legs?
I can't remember who I took it off.
Interesting. Can't see anyone with brown legs. What I'm alluding to, by the way, is the head. That Rich has done a much better kit bash than me, but you did get an interchangeable head and hands with the Danny Moonstar Walgreens exclusive figure that came with basically, it was like a generic body for the New Mutants where you could have Danny Moonstar, you could have Karma, or you could have Wolfsbane. Now, it's not really an accurate look for Wolfbane because obviously she likes to have her hairy arms and legs out. She's proud. She's not afraid to show it. But the Danny Moonstar version would make just the hands and head, so technically, if you really wanted to get into it, you could have a Wolfbane right now on your display. But
that's like the New Mutants version, the modern day like Zeb Wells New Mutants.
But the character, people's mind's eye, and people associate the character over here with X Factor, and we need a Wolfsbane. And again, that I'm talking about T Grey over here. We thought this body would be reused for a character like Wolfbane, or maybe like Mike said, Feral. And look, I told you someone's watching today. Get your pen and pad out, Ryan, all right? 10 characters we need to happen very, very soon. Thank you very much. But yes, Wolfbane needs to happen. Is that Ryan Ting confirming Wolfbane's happening, giving us a little Wolf movie? Is that what he's doing there? Breaking news. Shall I change the thumbnail and change the title of the video?
Maybe Wolfpack's been taken on as the new Hasbro spokesperson.
I'll be game with that. I like my gal. That's fine. My gal can do a great job. Just so again, Ryan, if you are just lingering for 5 minutes, we're talking about what Marvel Legend characters, what Marvel Legend teams just need one more figure to complete the team. Just one more. That's all it is. Just one more, and we can be happy completing the team. So far, we've had Destiny with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Then with Excalibur, we've got Phoenix, Rachel Summers, and then next up we have Wolfsbane with X Factor. Just one more member.
Shane Shooter is in the chat shouting out Val Cooper, who technically is a member of X Factor as well. She would be a good addition, but she's not part of that classic issue 72 cover where Peter David relaunches the team for the 90s. So that's why there's no Val Cooper. And again, you can build this out with Quicksilver, we've already got, Forge, we've already got, and Random, who came in that 5-pack earlier this year. You can put him in there. So you've got a pretty good X Factor team. But of that core, 5 team members, you're still missing Wolfsbane. That's the one that we need the most.
And that's the point we're making. You could add to this team, but it wouldn't be complete without Wolfbane. It's as simple as that. So, we need Wolfbane. Absolutely. Let's make that happen. Okay, so are we ready to shout? Okay, now you can shout, okay? Now everybody together now. Shout it out in honor of Mike, who was there a little bit too early. But everyone knows what to do now. I'll copy and paste what Mike said earlier. There you go. Everyone together now. Who are we missing from this X-Force team to complete the X-Force?
Is it Wolfsbane?
It could be.
It looks a bit like Wolfsbane.
Ryan Ting says, confirmed. I also personally like Wolfbane, Destiny, and Rachel Summers. Great figures. Great characters. I'm sure would make some great figures. Cloud is absolutely right. So was Mike. Where's Mike now? Is Mike turned off now after he was shouting Feral too early? Mike's like, ain't Feral... There he... Now Mike's shouting Wolfbane. Fair play, Mike. Well done. Very well done. Yes, it's of course Feral. So Feral is another hairy female that Rich would like to see in figure form. He's a fan of hairy females, as we've come to learn. Hexabar's on that list as well. But so's Wolfbane and Feral. And yes, I'm surprised we haven't got Feral yet. Like, I don't understand why. Why are they making us wait so long? We've got all these other characters. Feral's character design, very toyetic. She would look great as an action figure if executed properly. It needs to happen, right, Rich?
Yeah, and to get all these, you're looking at 6 years so far. So Shatterstar was 2017, Cable 2018, Boom Boom and Cannonball both in the same wave in 2019, Warpath 2020, and then Domino in that X-Force 3-pack, which was another chance to get Cannonball with a different look in 2021. So we didn't have like any of the classic X-Force last year. So we were overdue a Feral, maybe later this year or next year, fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely. So, there's a couple of versions of Cable out there, but I do think this one fits this team much better. That's my preferred Cable.
This is like your X-Force issue 1 looks type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. As Rich said, Cannonball originally had no legs, but now he has legs after the community rioted. So you can have Cannonball with his legs or without his legs. Yes, looking really good. And I've always liked Boom Boom for a fire effect with a little bubblegum. Like I think I've got a posed up with the bubblegum actually, and a fire effects just like this picture. So there you go. So yes, X4, always a very popular team, of course. And then I know later down the line, you can start mixing up a little bit and you can bring in your Wolverines and your Deadpools and stuff. But for this particular team, ain't complete without Feral. Need Feral. Graffiti Toy says, is it Crazy Cat Lady? I don't know if you can tell. You couldn't tell, but yes, absolutely it is. It's Feral. All right, next up. Giant size X-Men, okay? Think of a character, not necessarily a character we haven't had recently, hint, hint, but a particular look, particular colour palette for a certain character that would definitely help complete this team very nicely. Again, the silhouette should be a good giveaway here. But Giant Size X-Men, very famous cover, Wolverine, Cyclops. By the way, if anyone wants the Cyclops in Legends form, the only way to get that is in the Phoenix 2-packs, which, yes, that's right, everybody. I still have.
Cyclops is the selling point now.
I still have that much sought after Cyclops 2-pack. That also includes Phoenix. So yeah, Cyclops. And there's a Nightcrawler again. Second time appearance on today's list. He jumps around in different teams. He can bamf, of course. We got Storf. Now we've got a Thunderbird, which is Wolfpath's brother, who was in the other team. Colossus and Firestar. So who are we missing? And yes, people are absolutely correct. Craig's Nostalgic Collection, Cloud, giving his full name in him. Arvin's absolutely correct. Legion X Rix is correct as well, saying green baby. Yes, it is, of course, the green Banshee. Now, we have recently just got Banshee in the Uncanny X-Men set, and it's a good figure. It's a very nice figure, and it's a great figure for what it represents for the purpose of that box set. He was in the Uncanny X-Men just before they went into space and started getting involved with the Shi'ar and 275 and all of that. But you could argue Banshee's more iconic look and one that's maybe more universal within the X-Men lore itself. Would you agree, Rich, with that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends where you started reading comic books, I suppose. If you're like 70s and 80s, I think Green Banshee is the classic look for Banshee.
He was
and
in
even
the green longer, though, as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's gone back to that as well. Like in modern day comic books, he's been wearing it quite a bit. But I think if you came into the X-Men in the 90s, like from like 275, he was wearing that blue costume. And then like the big thing with Banshee is in Generation X, he always had the blue and yellow costume. So I think a lot of people, especially if you watch like the animated X-Men TV show, that was like the next generation of X-Men. So they tagged onto that to pull people into the comic book. Like that was the first comic book I ever got every issue of, was Generation X. I was on issue 1 and I collected it until it ended in issue 75. So that's why that look is more iconic to me for Banshee. But I just think getting Sunfire and Thunderbird before a Green Banshee is bonkers. We need the Green Banshee to finish off that team because it's like one of the big iconic teams of the X-Men universe.
Mike's back at it saying over Dwight's dead body. So yeah, Mr. Dwight Storm has publicly stated that this would be the last figure he did, considering it was the first one he did. But that he's well aware it needs a redo. And I do think that Banshee in the Uncanny X-Men sets only means a repaint is on the horizon, and he'd look great on a retro card, for example, like he was back in the day. If plastic-free packaging's getting gone and they're bringing some plastic packaging back, just saying, Banshee on a retro card would be a good shout, just like he was in the Toy Biz line. I'd take that. Great way to re-release a figure as well. Don't have to buy it if you don't want it, but it's there if you do. It's a great display piece. Just giving you ideas, Ryan. I know you're still lurking. Where's your pen? Get your pen back out. Dom's asking about being Richter in the X-Force line. He says thought he was on the original cover, but then I think he answered his own question by saying Richter didn't join until issue 11. I think you answered your own question there, Dom. But yes, that seems to be what we.
I think Frank asked about it, and Dom answered. Frank.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Frank and Dom. Okay, so there's that. Next up, bit of a smaller team, but still a duo all the same. Still a duo is still a team. It's a team of 2 people, all right? It still counts, all right? Now, don't get me wrong. Let's address the elephant in the room here. Misty Knight absolutely deserves a redo, all right? This is like googly-eyed Misty Knight, heavy head. If I have one culprit, right? We have a lot of Jelly Leg Jean figures that like are culprits for knocking over, starting domino effects on our shelves. But for me, it's Misty Knight. Like, wherever I'll try and put her on my Marvel Knights display or like my sort of street heroes sort of display, she's always toppling over, taking people out with her. Always. She never goes down alone, like selfish like that. And she's also, poor girl, can't see straight. She's looking all over the place. It's crazy. So, yes, absolutely, Misty Knight deserves another figure. So, how about a 2-pack where you get her other team companion? Do we know who we're going for here, people? Anyone in the chat know where we're going with this? Should be pretty easy. There's only 2 of them in this team. Titles right there, the Daughters of the Dragon. Now everyone's shouting Feral again. super sorrow shouting Feral. Gary says, I have that Misty Knight. It can't stand worth a dime either. See, I knew it weren't just mine. It's a universal issue with Misty Knight. Have you got Misty Knight in your display? How does she stand, Rich?
She's like leant up on the back, like against the wall.
Yeah, this poor girl. She can't stand. And I don't know anyone who's got a decent face paint either. Like the deco on her was just missed. Whatever. Someone banged the machine in the factory walking past it as they were printing the eyes on her face because, yeah, Misty Knight needs a redo. But a character that we haven't had in her comic form, at least we have a Misty Knight, right? At least there's that. At least there's some reputation of Misty Knight. But the character she's standing next to, we haven't had in figure form, in a comic form, at least. We've had a version somewhere else, if you want another hint. But in the comic world, we've never had her. And yes, people are absolutely right. Cloud, David, Shane, Paul, close but not quite. Ian, you're absolutely right as well. It is, of course, Colleen Wing. And again,
and spelt right for David this time as well.
Oh, did we get it? Did we get it wrong? I'm not a speller.
I spelled it like Colleen Rooney the last time, so okay. I did my spell check this time, got it right. There we go.
So yeah, as I said, a character we've never had. She'd be great in figure form, right? And easy to do, surely, right?
100%. She's just like in like just like a one piece like leotard like type of, not even a leotard, just like a one piece jumpsuit type of thing. Yeah. And she just needs to come with like her swords with her like big flowing hair, do an updated Misty with her, both on like super articulated female body. Would sell at least 2 to me and you, wouldn't they? Come on.
At least two. And if I felt bad, I'd buy another one just to try and get her moving.
And the other sets that we've done as well, like they've all been like 4 or 5 years, like between like to get the whole set. Misty Knight released way back
15,
in
right?
2015.
I'm good at this.
So it'll be like 8 years for just one more.
It's a game me and Brandon used to play. Like our brains contain useless knowledge, and one of them is the years that Marvel Legends come out. It's stupid. It's not needed in life, but we retain this information. But yes, absolutely, we need a Colleen. And do you know what? I was talking about Marvel Knights needing a new Misty Knight. Now, it's no secret we've seen a Luke Cage, right? And let's not be dumb either. Let's not be naive to a man named after a shape, right? We've seen lists out there, like we've seen Luke Cage. We know Marvel Knights are on the way. Was Ryan Ting teasing us in his last Instagram post? Only he knows. I still don't think he was, or maybe he was. I don't know. I'm still confused. But Marvel Knights could be on the horizon. Like Blade was potentially going to have a movie. Do you know what I'm saying? Marvel Knights could be on the horizon, and these 2 characters could easily slide into a Marvel Knights line. They're like street level heroes. Like they fit in that category. right, Rich? These are Marvel Knight characters.
Yeah.
So
or you could do like a Heroes for Hire
Yes.
pack with Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Misty, and Colleen all in one go.
yeah, so maybe we can see these characters sooner rather than later. And as much as I would like another Misty Knight, at least I have her represented in the shelf. So,
just Misty Knight with a digital face
Yeah.
print and some new legs. That would be an improvement.
yeah, even I'd take a new head. Like I can buy a stand or something. Do you know what I mean? Just give us an extra head with Colleen or something like that. You know, do the Lalandra trick, right? Just throw in an extra head. Like you've done it before with who was it? It was Jean Grey. She had like an apology head somewhere else, didn't she? In that Phoenix pack, they gave the green outfit Phoenix head in there. So I think I've still got that pack. I don't know if I mentioned it already. But no, Colleen and Misty Knight. We have never had a Colleen, so my point is, at least we've got a Misty Knight. But I'd rather take a Colleen right now, and it would complete those two teams. They're a team all the same. Okay, next up. Now this one always bugs me, and I'll explain why. But first, let me just say, the Superior Foes of Spider-Man. I read this like when it, while it was out, type thing. That's why it's the one time I bring up knowledge of recent comics. I say recent. This is old now, but at the time it was relevant, and I had read it, so I knew about the Silvermane on the car and everything like that. It's a bit old now, but still, it's a story that I still quite like, and it's a fun little sort of stupid villain team. But they're missing a member, and it's like we got so close to completing that team years ago, and they even damn teased it, and I'll explain how and why in a second, but I just want to see if you know where we're going here with this guess. So the team includes Beetle, the female Beetle, who is the daughter of Tombstone, of course. I think I'm right in saying that. Boomerang, Speed Demon. Now, Speed Demon is another version of Blur, who we've seen earlier in the Squadron Supreme. And then Shocker. And we have a couple of versions of Shocker now, but this one that Rich has put on screen is the more accurate version to this team. There's even a variant out there that has the Thunderbolts logo on his belt. There's a version, Hasbro don't do running changes, but occasionally there's like a variant, like in the factory. I don't know if it's a decision made for the next run. I know it happened with Psylocke, where Psylocke got the more purple hair and the etc. So this was definitely a decision made where they got rid of his Thunderbolt on his belt because he wasn't wearing the Thunderbolt during this run, but he has been in the... So my point is, it's a variant of Shocker, but there's someone we've never had, and yes, it is Overdrive. It's absolutely Overdrive. And I'll tell you why it bugs me. I'll take you back to like San Diego Comic-Con now. Don't quote me on that. It's probably 18 or 19. Back when they could do big displays, okay? Those big displays where people would walk around with the camera and they'd find Easter eggs and take pictures and they'd throw a few new figures in there. Always epic. They always look really, really good. It's the type of thing people would love to build out in their actual homes. A big diorama displaying all their legends. Now, somewhere in the dungeons of one of them, they had Overdrive. They had him with his helmet, with his black outfit. They had him at San Diego Comic-Con in an actual display, right? Which made us all take pictures and all start speculation. Overdrive is coming. It's an Overdrive. And we only found out it was a custom. Like, they duped us. They put a custom Marvel Legend in their own display. Like, I don't mind them doing that occasionally when it's like, they did like custom versions of AIM soldiers and stuff like that. That's fair game. But don't just throw in an actual unique character and just throw it a bit of custom. So yeah, we all thought we were going to get Overdrive because there was a custom in an official Hasbro San Diego Comic-Con display, and it was never to be. And he seems relatively easy to do, right, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a guy in like a black suit with a new helmet. I mean, you could put him on a bike if you want to make him part of a new Riders Wave. But yeah, you could get Overdrive out there and then he would like finish off this team. And again, like this team has been going since 2014. Boomerang was the first one in 2014. Beetle and Speed Demon 2016. Shocker in 2017. And then nothing. So it's like 9 years we've been waiting to complete our Superior Foes of Spider-Man.
We've even got this guy, like, who's in this sort of run. We've even got Silvermane
on
his bloody remote control car, and we haven't even got one of the main characters. Overdrive can like drive any vehicle. That's his sort of ability type thing. You can just get in and just know how to drive it and control it, etc. But we don't have him.
And like the running gag of the comic book as well, it was like they were the new Sinister Six, but there was only 5 of them. But with the Marvel Legends, there's only 4. You gotta we need the 5 to make it funny.
Ryan Ting in the chat says, "Don't put me in a box or a square or a parallelogram or a rhombus." Notice how he doesn't choose a particular shape. Sad times. Right, okay.
A quadrilateral triangle.
What did I say the other day? Mr. Oblong. Oblong's the shape,
Mr.
right?
Oblong, yeah.
Mr. Oblong. Okay. So, Overdrive, can we all universally agree is needed? Like, I just hope Hasbro genuinely do have a list of these characters, and they at least try and put them in when it makes sense. I understand they have certain themes that they have to follow based on movies or anniversaries, but like, when you can... get one of these characters in there. It makes sense in the grand scheme of the Marvel Legends line, right? No one would be mad if you threw an Overdrive and a Spider-Man wave. Spider-Man waves come out every year. Just stick an Overdrive in there, all right? He could have been a Rider's wave and a bike. You love repainting the bikes. Just saying, it could have been. It's an option for you. Okay, next up. Alpha Flight. Now, we talked earlier about a team in the box concept, as this week's reveal was the West Coast Avengers. Now, I love the team in the box concept. It's great. Like, again, you quickly fill out a team, nice and quick in one purchase. Now, Alpha Flight, you can buy extras to that, which we have done, as you've got the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure, who's a great Build-A-Figure, still holds up very well. Guardian as well, who you sort of need. They came out separately, but we have them. We have them. But there's a gap. There's a gap. Who is it, people? Who is it?
And it's just one character for that classic Alpha Flight issue 1.
It was a criticism of the box in the first place that this character was missing, because they were close. Because we had, at that point, already had Guardian and Sasquatch, I believe. They predate the box. Would I be right in saying that, Rich? Or you'd know?
Yeah, I think Guardian was 2019, just before the box. The Sasquatch Build-A-Figure was 2018, and technically that pack came back way back.
Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, in 2013. That would have been the first figure when they were doing like the little tiny Build-A-Figures.
People love it when Hasbro do tiny Build-A-Figures. It's something.
I know, like Cosmo. They love that Cosmo.
They love it. People love the tiny Build-A-Figure concept. Yeah, people.
Hit the troll for 2024.
People love it. People don't shut up about how much they love the tiny Build-A-Figure concept. They love it. But yes, we're missing a character, so.
And Curtis Randall's, I knew would come after me if I didn't put her in, so that's why she's in this list.
There you go. So who got it right? David Evan Smith. Legion X says Wolverine's girlfriend. Is she Wolverine's girlfriend?
Heather was for a bit, I think.
Okay, so I'm not sure. Yeah, Heather Houston says Gary. So yeah, explain this one, Rich, because I'm a little bit lost on Alpha Flight.
So Marina is Alpha Flight are the Canadian superhero team, debuting in X-Men and then spinning off into their own series. Like Wolverine was a member and like
Canadian,
went and joined the X-Men. But we had like the classic team, and in that classic issue 1, the one character who's missing is Marina, the under the sea girlfriend of Namor at one point, and she was like an alien. She's like put on the Earth. And then she tragically dies. She's like the Jean Grey of the team. And then she becomes a monster. She becomes this like evil monster at one point as well. Yeah, she's got a lot of backstory. But she's a great character. And she's just like, she's in a green swimsuit, which again, Namorita, Cersei, it can be reused. You've got 3 figures you can knock out in one go with that body.
Told you.
But there we go. But yeah, Marina is like the only one missing from that classic Alpha Flight. Again, other characters like Box, Diamond Lil, like join later on, Talisman, but like for the classic issue 1 Alpha Flight, Marina is the only one that is missing, and she'd be a great figure to get.
There you go. So I remember it being a criticism of the box set anyway. Like people like, they were so close because, again, as I said, at that time we'd already had Guardian. I remember they revealed that at they revealed him at a Canadian convention, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And Sasquatch, again, he's a pretty good Build-A-Figure. Like he holds up very well. They've reused that body for, I think, the Wendigo as well. He's a great figure. So
and an Alpha Flight villain as well.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So it's a good team. It's a good team, and they're very colourful. They pop on the shelf, and it's like a sub team of your X-Men as well. So like Rich said, so you can put them on an X-Men display. Just put them together. It would make absolute sense. So there you go. Another team that just needs one character. one more character to complete a version, an iteration of that team.
And this is the longest team on this list that we've been waiting for, because technically, if you count that pack build a figure from 2013, close. So it's like 10 years waiting for this one if it comes out this year.
Wow, there you go.
There you go. Andrew says that it was Fan Expo that it was revealed in Canada. I think Andrew's in Canada. So there we go.
That's why
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada. Okay, next up. Okay, so we talked about X-Force earlier, and we mentioned a few of these characters, but that's because there's multiple incarnations of these different teams. As people keep mentioning, there's always more characters that can create different versions of different teams. So let's move away from like the classic first look of the X-Force and get more into the gritty, uncanny X-Force. This is when they all get dark and they all start to dress the same and on theme with the greys and the blacks. And we have quite a few in figure form, but not everybody. Let me zoom in just so you can see what we've got going on here, all right? So Phantom X, Deathlock, who was like he was an exclusive during like the anniversary figure line, wasn't he? I think. Deadpool, Archangel. How did that Deadpool get released? He was single packed, right?
He was like he was the first Hasbro con.
Yeah. So
he was the first exclusive, and then he got re-released in a wave. Then
yes. He was at the first Hasbro con. Never been another one, right? So he's genuinely the only Hasbro con exclusive,
yeah.
Okay, so there's that, but there was other ways to get it. Now Deathlock, Psylocke, she was in the same 3-pack in this version anyway, with the black as Phantom X, the new updated Phantom X. But we did get Phantom X back in the day as well in the Epic Heroes line, so we have had upgrades of him.
So this version of Psylocke came in the 3-pack with Archangel and a Wolverine. This is the one with the bare legs. The one in the
she's all black
pack.
Yes.
She's more like the other like more like not X-Force, like the Brian Wood X-Men era, where she's got the X on her chest, that kind of look, I think.
Oh, okay. So if I was to use the version from that 3-pack, it would the character's accurate, but the costume wouldn't be accurate to the look.
Yeah, it does fit in. Later in the run, she kind of does wear like the leggings, so you can still fit her into that kind of look. Yeah,
because I don't think I've got that Psylocke. I've got a few Psylocks, but not that one. I've got the 2 variants and the all black. But who are we missing? People are throwing Nightcrawler, Marrow, says Cloud, question mark. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look. Yes, it's of course the AOA Nightcrawler look. And again, what did I say earlier when we showed off the giant size X-Men? There's Nightcrawler in that team. There's Nightcrawler also in Excalibur. Like, Nightcrawler jumps around. He bamps around into different teams, if you will. And yet we've only got one on the shelf. And like I alluded to earlier, even more, when I was saying I don't mind having the character more than once in my collection if I have another team I can display them with and put them with. Nightcrawler fits into that category perfectly. And again, it's just a repaint. It's as simple as that. Repaint, little decal on his chest, and it would look really good. That Nightcrawler figure moves really well. It's got the articulated tail. Like, I'd be happy with them just to repaint that. I think it has the pins, of course, but again, I'm not one of those be all end all pin guys. So yeah, Nightcrawler. You'd be happy to get a repaint of Nightcrawler? Would you prefer something more? Do they need to tweak anything?
I love a repaint. He needs a new head because he needs to get that like tattoo, and he's got like a more menacing face than like our version of Kurt Wagner. But like again, it's an Age of Apocalypse figure as well. An Age of Apocalypse figure we haven't had.
Where's Dan Yoon? Dan Yoon's having a seizure somewhere.
He doesn't wear this costume in the Age of Apocalypse, but still, it would be a great one to get. And again, it finishes up this Uncanny X-Force run just like one figure away. Some people might be going, "Where's Eva?" Well, Eva is just technically Phantom X's like nervous system will become sentient. So, you know, put him back in the body. She's inside Phantom X. She's there. So, like, we just need this, like, AOA Nightcrawler to finish that team. A Nightcrawler in this Uncanny X-Force run by Rick Remender. I definitely recommend go and get this. It's a really good run. He's a bit of a duplicitous, not the lovable Nightcrawler that we know and love from the 616. This is the Age of Apocalypse. Like, his universe has died, like, he's here, and he's a bit of a bastard. And his fight with Blob is one of the most disgusting yet satisfying fights you'll see in a comic book.
There you go. So there's 9 different teams here. Let's recap real quick, okay? For the people that are in late, that's fine. So what we're talking about is Marvel Legend teams that we only need one more character to be created to complete that team, okay? So the rest of the team we already physically have in plastic. We can hold them in our hand. They exist. but we're missing one character to be made in the Marvel Legends line to complete that team. First up, Evil Brotherhood of Mutants, Destiny. Second up, Excalibur. We're missing Phoenix, Rachel Summers. Third up, we have got X Factor, and it's Wolfbane. And we'd need a Wolfbane, no half-assed. We'd need the legs on show. We'd need the arms on show. Proper like this, please. No messing around. Thank you. Next up, say it with me now. Mike, where are you at? Pharaoh! It's Pharaoh. There she is. Complete the original sort of look for the X-Force and the original sort of cover, that double panel. Next up, giant size X-Men. We've already got him this year, but give him a slap of green and he's good to go. It's Banshee. Next up, a small team, but a team all the same. Marvel Knights, we may see them sooner rather than later. Who knows? But it is Colleen Wing of the Daughters of the Dragon. Next up, it's the one that always bugs me. It is, of course, Overdrive from the Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Like Rich said, the not-so-sick Sinister Six. Even though you could use, you could use Silvermane in that team. Where's he gone? There he is. Right, next up. Marina for the Alpha Flight. Again, Rich said she came to her demise, but she was part of that original team and a figure you'd need to display if you're trying to create that original lineup of Alpha Flight. And then back to X-Force, but this time the uncanny, grittier, darker X-Force, and it is the Nightcrawler. So there you go. So there's 9 characters, 9 Marvel Legends. So it's just a few more than a wave, nearly a wave of Legends there, just a bit more than a wave. They could do a wave of missing Marvel Legend team members, Rich, and just think how many teams they'd complete. I'd have to rearrange them a display. Like, for you, right, genuinely, if you've got finished the team, does that like change your mindset on where they're displayed and stuff like that? Like, have you currently got like teams that are like at the back of a display where if you now had the complete team, you'd like, wow, they need some more real estate. They need a better place. They get pushed up to the front. Like, that type of shit happens, right?
Alpha Flight, like I would, if they did Marina, I could give them their own little cube because that team would be complete there. Another minute, they just had the back of like the X-Men shelf, just like floating about.
So for you, when the team's complete, they
can get a cube. I'll get a custom 3D logo printed, put it on there, put my lights on, look beautiful.
There you go. See, look at that. We're missing out. And I completely sympathise as well. I wouldn't want to dedicate a cube to a team that isn't complete. What's the point? You need a complete team. They're the ones who get the cubes, all right? So,
but Monet has got a cube.
Monet, she's in a different league. She's in a different league. We can have a whole cube of Monets. That's fine. Always have a Monet close by when you're talking to Rich, all right? Here, test you.
You've got to like grab onto her. That's the only reason I speak to you is if you're holding the Monet.
So, out of those nine people, what are you saying in the chat? Please just give me one of those characters. So, which one of those teams would you want complete? Brotherhood, Excalibur, X Factor, X Force, Giant Size X-Men, the Daughters of the Dragon, Superior Foes of Spider-Man, Alpha Flight, or Uncanny X-Men. Just one of them, please, people. One of them. Which team would you like to see completed first? And I'll read a couple out while we're here. And I may throw in a bonus.
Know there's like a lot of other teams, like people are mentioning, like Serpent Society, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Dark Avengers that need like to be finished as well. But they've got more than one member to finish them. So that was like a thing. If you go back and look through the playlist, there is a stream that we did, I think, last year or the year before. And we did like a missing teams version then, and that's got more of them where we just picked one character and went through like the whole team. So definitely go back through the back catalogue. But this was to celebrate the fact that the Squadron Supreme only need like one with Power Princess, and that now Mockingbird is coming for the West Coast Avengers. It was to celebrate that we just need one more. Just teams, we need one more. So that's why we went through this.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's a fun concept because again, it reminds us how close we are to completing so many teams in the Legends line. And it's satisfying completing teams. Like, collecting in itself is like a never-ending game. Do you know what I mean? Even when you can complete a team, there's still more or whatever. But completing a team is still very satisfying. It feels like you've accomplished something. As like Rich said, you can give them a dedicated display shelf. They can get promoted to the front row. Get off the back shelf. You've been promoted, team. Do you know, like, so all depends. Everyone has their favourites and their preferences as well. So, yeah, let me just bring up a picture of the Squadron Supreme in their entirety so we can see the Power Princess in action. So there she is. So, Essentially, if Dan Yoon isn't lying to us on Twitter, then they're well aware we need a Power Princess. We've just got a 2-pack of Hyperion and Dr. Spectrum. They've just revealed this week the new Nighthawk and the Blur. Now we just need Power Princess to complete a team. So again, a team that needs one more member to be completed. So let's jump to the chat, see what some of these were saying. I'll put the chat on screen as we're chatting away. Okay, what are people saying? Let's have a look. Let me scroll up a little bit. Damien, I have no doubts he likes the wacky teams. He says superior foes, please. WCC EDD. I can't read. He says X-Force X Factor. Angel Seeker says, I would take all of them. Absolutely. So would most of us. And that is the point we're making. Give us these characters. People would be very happy. Ian Irwin says Excalibur. Curtis says Alpha Flight. Cedric, Excalibur. Gary A, Brotherhood. Joe says Feral Fur. So he's talking about X-Force. Frank says Excalibur. Legion X, which is Rick, he says Destiny for the Brotherhood. Dom says the X-Force. Tac, Excalibur or X-Force. Scroll down a little bit. Big Will says X Factor 100%. Cloud says my one would be the Wolfsbane. So that is the X Factor. She, of course, is in New Mutants as well, right? So you could sort of use her in that team too. So New Mutants has got a bit of a different team member, different team set. But, of course, she's a member for that team too.
You've got a New Mutants Wolfsbane, though. Go and buy the Danny Moon star and check her hairs on her. You're fine.
I've got 3 Danny Moon stars, right? But I've kept one in box because I'm like, I'm not opening this just to display that version. Like, it's not a proper version. Karma hasn't got a metal leg either, to be fair. So that's not very accurate either. So
yeah, but she doesn't lose it till later in that run. So
but when I picture Karma, I picture her with her leg. So like,
yeah. But I mean, I've got those 3 together and Magic and Warlock on my shelf.
Okay, I guess they could go with Magic.
My little New Mutants going on.
Northern Nomad says, we need the Suckers Squadron. Who's in that team? Dave? Just you? You, me and Rich, we're in the Suckers Squadron. Who's in the team? But thank you very much for the super chat. Suckers Squadron. I could see it happening. It sounds like a team that had one specific task. Won't say it out loud. Quinn Comic says it's Excalibur. Cedric says New Warriors. Who are we missing in the New Warriors? What one? Are we missing one? Are we missing more?
We're missing Namorita and Justice.
Okay,
for the classic team, anyway.
So there's more than one there. That's why he weren't brought up today, Cedric. But you're not wrong. Jay says Overdrive for the foes of Spidey. The Fossil says Alpha Flight. That box set got us mostly there. Absolutely, it nearly did. As I said, just that one character missing. If they had Marina in that box set, that would have been the team complete because we had already had the other 2. Let's have a look. Daughters of the Dragon said Pink Psylocke. David says Feral, then Rachel, then Wolfbane. So there's his top 3. Mike Heck says Dark Avengers, Moonstone as Dark Miss Marvel. The other dude doesn't count.
Yeah, but technically we also need Nova as Marvel Boy. Although if you watch Rectangle's list, maybe we'll get that one this year.
Ooh.
And technically everyone uses that Hawkeye from the All Father Wave, but that's not the Bullseye version of Hawkeye. He was kind of a little bit different because like that the Hawkeye's got like the cybernetic arm type of thing. So the Bullseye version is a bit different. So technically we didn't have him either.
You can sort of use a head though, but not the right body, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like if you face him that way, it's more or less the same costume, but still, it's not quite there. And it wasn't advertised as Dark Hawkeye.
Mike Kett says, "What team is Mo on, Dan? Did you notice him? Did you spot him?" By the way, people, I love this figure. I'm not gonna lie, it's one of my new favourites. It is like he has jumped off the screen. I love the Simpsons.
How did you get an apron? No one got aprons.
Comic and Cocktails got them in from Super 7 because they're a distributor.
Ah, so they sent them when they got them in.
As soon as I heard Super 7 had the aprons, I pulled the trigger on the whole wave because it was the way I didn't buy them because I was so pissed off about the apron. And I didn't want to play games with Super 7 going, oh, please can I have an apron, send me one. So knowing I could just buy the wave complete as it was intended, I was like, yes, please. And I'm so glad I did. They're so good. As a Simpsons fan, though, of course, like, it's like he's just jumped out of my TV screen, and he's just a representation of one of my favourite characters on TV. So good. Very happy with him.
I'm glad they're gonna do like the classic versions of all the characters.
Having
like
these
Marge, Lisa, and Maggie in it.
Having this wave in hand has just gave me more confidence to go in on the wave, like on the line. They are so. I know this isn't a Simpsons show. There's a lot of team members missing,
but it might be.
but these figures are so nice. Forget Super 7. It doesn't matter about Super 7. If you're a Simpsons fan, these are a beautiful representation of the characters you love. Trust me, you'll be very impressive. They're massive as well, much bigger than you think. Even me showing you this on screen doesn't give you just a look. It's just big in my head. It's massive.
And he's got a panda.
He has got a panda, yeah.
That's like a 2-second joke for one episode.
And he's a big bot. He gets a box and a panda in the packaging. They could have packed in loads of other little things, but they give you the panda. So yeah, we get a panda. 2 for 1. Yeah, let's have a see what people are saying. Okay, sorry, that's my bad. That's my bad. I changed the subject. I'll timestamp that as well. Mo appreciation. Okay, so there you go. So is Ryan Ting gone now? Is he gone now? Has he took his list? Is he off to mail it to Hasbro HQ? Hopefully so. But there is 9 characters there. Now, there was one more that I'm, like, contemplating on showing. But I don't think people would get it, Rich. As a bonus one? Do they deserve a bonus one? Do you just want one more? Do you just want one more, chat? Do you just want one more? Give me a hit or miss in the chat for one more. Little bonus one. Whether you like it or not, it's a different story. But a little bonus one. Want one more? I'll see what you say. I do like
Shane Shooter is saying as well, for X-Force we need Elixir, Vanisher, and Rain Sinclair, and we do. That is for the Yost and Kyle Yost. No, Yost and someone. Yost and Kyle. That's why I was saying Kyle. The Yost and Kyle run of X-Force, which had like Wolfsbane, Warpath, X-23 on the team. We do need them 3. They would be good. But again, that's 3 characters, so that's why that run wasn't included there. But we did include Classic X-Force and the Uncanny X-Force Rick Remender run as well.
Yeah, so the characters we suggested today absolutely complete at least a version or an iteration of that particular team. Yes, there's different team members that jump in and out, but to complete a team of how it appeared at some point in a particular run, fair game. So yes.
David Evans Smith said not of his hippo. Oh, David.
Fuck yous. All of yous. Because here it is. Could be anyone. It might not be Hippo. It might not be.
So it's coming up to nearly a year since White Rabbit joined the Who crew.
She's been a menace, by the way. She's been an absolute menace. I think she's been planning things in the background as well. I've seen her speaking to some of these. Like, I've been doing the reviews, and like in between takes, I've seen her chatting away to mainly the villains, to be honest, if anything. Like, I think she's got plans up her sleeve. I don't know. I think as a community we should sort of get rid of her. But again, I'm powerless to these type of things. The Who crew is driven by the supporters of the channel. They exist because of you guys. So like, and it happened naturally. Like, people always ask how the Who crew happened. I can't even answer them. It just happened, all right? But it happened because of you guys and your influence. So you guys always have to help us influence. So yes, Rich is not wrong. Like, it's been a year. Like, we're coming up to it's 150 episodes should land in August, right? And that's when that's our. Was it 4 years? 3 years? How long is it going to be?
Three?
Yeah, 3 years. 3 years. It's blur. It's a blur. But yes.
I looked much.
Oh, we didn't hear you. You froze.
Ah, did I cut out?
Yeah, you said I looked and then you froze.
I said go back and watch show 1. I look much younger and have better bone structure in that. And hair.
Yeah, it's true. Eric Alfred Abel says White Rabbit is the reason Brandon quit the show. Look, you're not wrong.
Oh, you're so close.
Honestly, it's crazy how close to the truth he is there. But yeah, as you noticed, White Rabbit entered the team. He was so like, that was Brandon's fault. But honestly, right, we were sort of in line to get like Hitmonkey or someone like that in the team, and then out of nowhere, Brandon was like, I don't want White Rabbit in the team. She shouldn't be in the team. And then you know what the chat are like. They go against anything we want, and they went against it, and White Rabbit ended up winning. So,
but it's because he wasn't joking. He was deadly serious. Yeah. So obviously see. They knew that would annoy him, so the chat picked White Rabbit.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do this again. All right. So on the lead up to the anniversary episode, we're gonna use the 150th episode as the 3-year anniversary because it's in August and we did start the streams in August. So we'll do the 150th episode as the 3-year anniversary episode, and to do a little bit of fun, as always, I'll do a giveaway or something like that, and we'll also add some Who Crew excitement to it. And use think this is a joke, right? But if you watch any, like my review, the Who Crew appear in every single review. Whether it doesn't matter if I'm reviewing Marvel Legends or not, the Who Crew make an appearance. So you guys are basically going to influence every single review on this channel. Every single video I make will be influenced by you guys with the character selection. So on the lead up to the 400 onto the 150th episode, we're going to pick 4 new applicants for the Who Crew. So you can start giving me suggestions. I'll make a poll somewhere. We'll make it more official, but we're going to get some applicants for the Who Crew. Has to be a comic legend, okay? Can I just draw the line there? No MCU, no Gameverse. Has to be a comic, all right? This is like an alternative comic realm team, all right? Imagine this isn't the 616. This is the 617. They're just the same characters from the 616, but they've teamed up. They're a different team, okay? So there has to be a comic character, all right? That's my only rule, comic.
And last year, whereas like we just did the show and introduced them all in one go, this year, to save the White Rabbit nonsense, we're going to introduce one a week over the next 4 weeks. So show 45, 145, 146, 147, and 148. We will be introducing a new character to the Who Crew who you can then vote on in episode 150.
Yeah. So we need your suggestions. Again, look at the team, right? Look at the team. They're a fun, colourful team. Again, they're just just some nonsense. If I could do I'd love to do stop motion with these guys. If I had the time, if I had the skill, I'd do a stop motion at the end of every review with the whole crew beating everyone up. But until then, Hank and Brian take it in turns just to give them a whack. I was going to think of starting a new element of my reviews where if I like the figure, they survive, they walk on by, they get past. But if I don't like the figure, they get whacked. But then I thought, I only buy the stuff I like, so like no one would get whacked and it would be boring. So instead I just whack everybody. To be fair, Hank did drink that potion from Beast and it's been a while since anything happened. He also was playing around with what was it? With
Aunt May as well.
Yeah. So yeah,
White Rabbit was nicking things as well at one point.
This is what I'm saying. There's been some shenanigans going on that may all be coming together to one big storyline. Who knows? Big Will says, same as last year picture with Who Crew, the new Who Crew. Same as last year picture with Who Crew. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So
when we did the
put
competition.
We put them with the Who Crew. Yeah, I can do that. Let's do that. So you guys are going to help us decide.
But there's a twist this year.
It means to add a new member, right? There's only so much room on my review table. To add a new member, that means someone has to go. Okay? Someone has to go. It could be anyone. But as the hosts of the show, me and Rich can save someone, okay? That's how we're going to play this, all right? So we'll reveal who we're saving as the weeks go on.
We'll do it in 149.
Yeah,
we'll explain how this is going to work in 149.
Yeah. So, like, someone's leaving the Who Crew, right? This is real drama, people. I know you think I'm joking. This is some serious stuff. This is going to break my heart. As much as White Rabbit has been a menace, she's like, I've grew attached, okay? So it'll be weird to see the crew without going and do a review by going Frogman, Tiger, and White Rabbit. It'll be weird saying, and it's someone else. So it's freaky. It's messing with my mojo. But we shall see. So, so exciting things to come on the channel as we lead up. I think it's exciting. You probably think, what the fuck they playing at? But I don't care. It's my channel, all right? If you don't want to watch, off you go. But use it here. So hopefully use it in on the nonsense. So any quick suggestions before we go? Before we wrap up today? Any quick suggestions you want to throw in there? Just real quick.
Just to point out, as my contract last year said, and now that I'm co-host, my contract is like doubly says, Kitty Pryde is not allowed. So Mike X with your vote, Abnugla coming along just to shout out Kitty Pryde. Suck it, Kitty Pryde is banned.
It was in bold. She had her own page basically in the contract where it was just simply put Kitty Pryde not in the Who Crew. Easily done. So while you guys are giving us a couple of suggestions, Crescent Blue Zero says R.I.P. Hank. Don't you dare mess with me like that. Don't you dare, Crescent Blue Zero. I'm looking at you. Don't you dare mess with my feelings and emotions like that. Whew. Okay, so just to finish the poll, real quick, let's have a look at what people's favourite reveal was today, or to this week. So with 162 votes, 27% preferred the Squadron Supreme 2-pack, with 73% preferring the West Coast Avengers 5-pack, which comes at no surprise, right, Rich? The West Coast Avengers are a big deal. They're the Avengers, for God's sake. They're just the Avengers that prefer the sunshine. That's all it is.
Yeah, and if you've missed out on like all the figures in it, it's a good pack. And if you're a fan of the West Coast Avengers, it's a good pack. If you're a fan of sleeves, it's not such a good pack. But we said enough about that. Go back and watch from the beginning, and you can see all my love for the Mockingbird design.
Yeah, and for the record, the figures that we already have, like, as I said, they've upgraded 2 of them, and the other one just has a slight redeco, but this was a good figure anyway. Like, it's a good representation of Silver Centurion. Like, it's fine it's better than fine. It's a good figure, you know? So, 2 upgrades and a redo, and then 2 new character designs for the shelf. Are they perfect character designs? Probably not, but again, we've spoke about that. And again, we have other team members as well. White Vision goes very cheap in the UK. You can get him for about £6. Go and get yourself a White Vision now. He can join the team. War Machine can join the team in his just regular look. US Agent.
Wonder Man. Scarlet Witch. Just like loads of people put on there.
That box set is a pretty decent box set if you want to build out an Avengers team, absolutely. Okay, let's see who some of these people are saying for the Who crew before we get out of here. People are saying buy Tigra and buy Hank. I don't like this, all right? I don't like this. This is why Rich added the caveat that we can save someone, all right? Because yous are going to freak me out. Maybe I'll save Frogman, though, you know? Brandon's not here. Maybe I still want a piece of Brandon on the channel. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'll save Frogman. So, you don't know. You don't know what I'm thinking. Hank's a big enough entity now. He can survive on his own, I think. So, maybe we'll play with mind games with you. But people are saying buy Hank, buy Tigra. Jay says 150 episode extravaganza. Yeah, we're trying to do something fun. We'll probably end that. We'll probably follow that up with an inner circle as well, by the way. And if you were in the last inner circle, you know that was a lot of fun, all right? So in August, we'll do something special, absolutely, to celebrate. Again, I always like... some people may say I celebrate too much or say I celebrate every milestone, but why the fuck shouldn't we? Do you know what I mean? Like, why the fuck shouldn't we? Like, YouTube can be a dark place sometimes, so let's celebrate the positive achievements. And, like, it's just... what's wrong with that? Do you know what I mean? So always celebrate a good time and the people that help make it happen. So never going to complain about the positive outlook we have. People are saying Blob. I like Blob. Spiral. Yeah, anyone saying Kitty Pryde, I'm just going to ignore. Gwenpool wants revenge, says Cloud. Who was it last year? It was Gwenpool, Hitmonkey. I don't know. Spy Master was lingering around for a little bit.
White Rabbit. It was, them 2 White Rabbit. There was 4, weren't there? Because we had 4 for the poll.
Yeah. Ghost Rider, Doom, Rogue, Lockjaw. Lockjaw, Tac hasn't got a Marvel Legend. It has to be a comic Marvel Legend, all right? That's my only rule. Comic Marvel Legend. No, not over lines or anything like that. Like, so that's my only rule.
That's year 4.
Yeah. Inner Circle due Q10 ends in June. Q2 is... oh, wait, hang on. April, March, June. Oh, you're right. Fuck it, though. We can do an extra Inner Circle in August anyway to celebrate 150. That's fine. It's my channel. I make the rules. I just made a new rule.
150 will be July, though. It's like 6 shows from today.
August the 4th, so it's the first week in August, was officially when me and Brandon started. So as long as it's close to there.
That would be 156. That would be show 156.
156. Okay, well, 150 extravaganza is fine. Look, it doesn't matter. We'll celebrate them all.
Do it twice.
Do you know what? We'll celebrate next week. What episode are we on next week? 155? 146? We'll celebrate.
Woo!
I'll bring the party poppers and champagne. Deadpool, says Mike Kex. Damien says negativity can be binned. No, look, being negative. Negative and positive are 2 words that are thrown around too much in this YouTube space, right? They're 2 very broad statements. I think it's absolutely fair game to be critical, and being critical sometimes may be perceived as just being negative. But like as a consumer that spends their money on these things, I think it's only fair to have a voice and be heard, right? Like, and I will never force opinion down people's throats. I have my own opinion that you may not agree with, but don't get mad at me when you don't agree with it, all right? Because you're allowed an opinion and I'm allowed an opinion. And that's what gets blurred and muddied on YouTube, is that a lot of channels try and force their opinion on you and make you feel bad and make you feel wrong if you don't share the same opinion. And I won't do that. Simple as that, right? You can love things, you can hate things, that's fine, but you're still welcome here as long as you're respectful. And I like to think that's the environment we've created here, all right? So, happy days. We have a bummer pirate emoji, for God's sake. I like Marvel Legends. I refuse to apologise for it, all right? If you want to hate Marvel Legends, that's fine, but then why are you here? Do you know what I mean? So, hopefully this is a safe place that you all feel like you can be honest, because that's what I want, honesty. But honestly, I like Marvel Legends. I don't mind a fucking repaint. I don't mind pins in the elbows occasionally. As long as the figure looks like my mind's eye character representation, I can display and look at it and just go, that's nice. I'm happy. But I'm a man of simple things. That, chicken tikka korma, Amanda and Teddy, and I'm good. Simple things. Okay, let's get out of here. Mike Heck says Aunt May as well. Tempting. Eric Alfred Abel says Joe Fest is almost here. Who's going? I would love to attend conventions in the US, but that's a pretty penny, so I would unfortunately not be going Joe Fest. But it is G.I. Joe June, so we will still be celebrating all things Joe's and Action Force on Joe's and Juice in June anyway. Me, Mark and Tom have already been speaking about it, already been saving up our little Action Force points too. So, but yeah, G.I. Joe June, exciting times, but I will not be at Joe Fest. I'll be at Wembley Stadium on Saturday though. That's where I'll be. Rich, where can the people find you online?
I won't be at Wembley Stadium, I'll tell you that now. You can find me in a beer garden on Sunday. But you can find me at Displayed Once on Instagram below. And where you won't find me is in any Kitty Pride supporter groups on Facebook. I won't be in them. You won't find my name there. It's not me. If someone tells you I love Kitty Pride, my name's Rich M, they're an imposter. Report them. Report them.
People are going to make fake account now. You just started it. Abnuggler's.
Abnuggler's already got one. He was bloody I love Kitty Pride for a year. When he on
He's opened a new tab. He's starting another one. Okay, let's get out of here. Thank you very much for today. Again, it's always fun when we do a topic. We like to do them when it's more relevant, when it's on theme. And we felt that this week we had a decent chunk of Marvel Legends news. So let's just put the cherry on top and give you a decent list that's relevant to the news today. So thank you, Power Princess, for inspiring our list. Thank you very much to Rich for his amazing graphics as always. I do appreciate the extra effort. Like, he didn't just take a picture off the Google. He gave you every single Marvel Legend we already had on screen, so you could make notes for yourself if you're missing certain characters, because people out there are still probably building teams themselves. So happy hunting, people. We'll be back here next week on a Thursday for the regular show. Thank you for everybody watching. Thank you for always getting involved in the chat as well. You guys make it so much more fun and engaging. And yeah, start thinking about who will look good on my review table with the Who crew, and we'll start revealing some of those contestants. All right, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye now. Goodbye now. Woo. Right.
Oh, word of the day. The word of the day is, of course, members.
Members, beautiful.
Missing members, new members, evicted members, lots of members.
I love my channel members. There you go. I love yours.
There we go.
There you go.
Everyone loves a member.
Who we think of a Who crew, Rich? Monet? You want Monet in there?
Monet would be a good choice. But then
I wouldn't be mad.
I don't want to lose someone either. Can I just pick Tiger or White Rabbit again?
I genuinely grew to like White Rabbit. I know it sounds ridiculous and like this whole thing makes no sense, but in my head canon, they're a team, and even though White Rabbit's a menace, they need to stick together and be there for each other. And the fact that someone could be booted out breaks my heart.
Like Blob would be a good choice. We haven't got like a big chunky character.
Have to get a bigger review table, ain't we? No, we need. we do need
Sentinel, put the Sentinel.
Oh shit! Don't give them ideas. No, we need we need some meat, don't we? Like, that's why I wanted Hippo, because Hippo would be the brute, the big brute. So I wouldn't be mad at Blob. Blob's a good choice.
Spiral as well. Spiral's a nice looking figure.
Never be mad at a woman with 6 hands. If only I had 6. All 6 of them. And she'd have a spare hand. Bye bye, everyone.